te mando un besito.
All right, we're on Disco Acid Cult TV. Dude, I got these new lights set up. I actually really don't like them as much as I thought I was gonna like them before I put them up. They don't have, the old lights had like a mode where the color would fade into the next color and the next color and the next color. This doesn't have those. It only has a really harsh setting where it goes from color to color, but it's like seizure inducing. So it can go back and forth between the colors, but it's like a hard bounce to each color. There's no gentle fade into the next color. But so that's why they're just on one color. I'll just do red on Tuesdays. I'll do blue on Wednesdays. That's the dumbest stuff that I care about with this whole thing. I should be like, "Oh, I should get some topics to talk about. I should record some videos," but instead I'll buy a new microphone and a new set of lights and then act like that's gonna fix all the problems. But, yeah, I guess fuck it. I like the cool stuff. That's all I'm concerned about is the cool stuff. I don't care about the boring stuff. I don't care about the sound. I don't care about, what I talk about. I care about the lights, and I care about having John Lennon in the background. How's your video re-recording going? Well, slow. I literally probably have recorded, like, 5 minutes of it. I'm I always end up doing, whenever I do anything, any type of, like, writing or recording, I either do, like, 2 minutes, I write, like, 2 sentences, or I sit down and do the whole thing. So I'm expecting to, like, just record this whole thing pretty much in 1 day. Well, at least in 1 week, like, it might be tomorrow and Thursday. Just whenever I sit down and actually do it, I'll just do the whole thing. I have the entire thing written. Like, it's literally all written out. I just have to sit here and say it all, basically. But, yeah, I've got the mic audio set up with because when I record videos not on stream, I use OBS. If I use, if I'm doing a pre-recorded video where I have to do a screen sharing function, then I'll use Restream like I do here on the live. But if there's no screen sharing or if it's gonna be all editing that I edit the videos into it, I use OBS because then I can record in 1080. Whereas when I'm on this, I'm only in 720. But, yeah, so I have the mic figured out with OBS, which is pretty much the same as this, really. I don't even actually have the mic set up completely. I found a preset that I think sounds fine. That's what it's on right now. That's what I had it on last week too. There's just a preset mode that I put it on. So yeah, hopefully it works. Or hopefully the audio is fine. I would imagine. Hopefully it's the same as last week. Because last week's was pretty decent, I thought. I have all the cords set up now too, so under the mic there's no cords that dangle. So I can move the mic way more freely now. Before I had the headphone cord came down, like, directly onto the desk, and I would just kinda have to push it to the side, and it got all weird. But, yeah, now I have them all kinda tied up so they don't dangle at all. They're all over yonder. I have really long cords for everything. His experience with the doctor. That is really funny that it took him it sounds like it took him a long time to figure it out, like, he didn't find out until he went to a whole different doctor. Dude, that'd be weird. That'd be weird to have like an experience that I guess would make you untrusting of doctors. I think, No, yeah, no, I can't really think of I mean, aside from something like that happening, there's no really I don't think there's any story that I've ever had where I've been like, "Oh, yeah, I don't trust doctors anymore." There was one time I remember when I broke my hand and I was, like, on my last visit to the doctor that I was seeing, the guy that did, like, the he fixed it. I saw we saw that he was, like, Googling the questions that I was asking him, like, as I was asking. My girlfriend at the time was, like, sitting on the other side of the room, and she could see his computer screen, and she's like, "Yeah, every time you asked him a question, he'd sit there and Google the fucking question you just asked him." And, that's where he started going with it. So I thought that was pretty funny, but, I think that's really the only time that's ever even happened to me. And that wasn't any I'm not comparing that to, I'm not comparing that to Mark's story, but, yeah, that was a pretty funny, like, experience that I saw that, like, this doctor's getting paid fucking money, and he's just out here Googling questions like I had pretty much spent the last week doing. When you say Gavin Newsom on the sauce, you talking about steroids? No, I don't know what I think it is. I would assume it's, I just put sauce because I didn't wanna put any illicit substance in the title, but, dude, it's gotta be some kinda upper. I have some clips. Dude, I have a bunch of clips actually from Twitter. I was just going down the rabbit hole with the Gavin Newsom stuff, and there's, like, just a whole bunch of videos of him, there's, like, 1 or 2 recent ones where he just seems like he's all uppity and fucking weird. There's one video where he's, like, swaying back and forth, but the way he sways I'll show you. When he sways, he, like, goes so far that it looks, like, unbelievable because you can't see his legs. All you can see is, like, from here up, and you're like, "Dude, how long of a stance is he assuming?" I could see him being an Addy dude. Oh, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, like, cocaine and shit. I mean, there's that whole, I think I talked about it before. There's a book that I have on my phone. I think it's called Doctor Feelgood, and it's about the doctor. Yeah, Doctor Feelgood. It's about the doctor who shot up a bunch of like famous people, including JFK, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and other prominent figures. He would shoot them up with, it was basically like meth, um, some other stuff. I can't remember what else. I think there might have been an opiate, and they're just basically just drugs. He would just give these people drugs. So like whenever JFK had to go out and do a debate or do a speech, I'm pretty sure this doctor like lived in the White House at some point, or like it was at least like very close with JFK because JFK really couldn't do much without the guy. So yeah, I could easily see Gavin Newsom being on something. Let me find one of these. If I don't know this well, I'm gonna start with the Jimmy Kimmel thing, because I feel like you have to go, or I don't know, are you supposed to start with the video is titled "The Gavin Newsom Thing" first. So I guess I should start with the Gavin Newsom thing, and then I'll move on to Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, cried on TV again, which is, of course, that's always a favorite of mine. He needs to stop fucking doing that. But, no, you know what? We're gonna start with the Jimmy Kimmel thing just because the Gavin Newsom thing is gonna, because the Gavin Newsom thing is gonna lead into okay, well, now you're going against what now you're doing saying the opposite of what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just go in order of the title. I'll save one of the Newsom videos for later because I wanna joke about, I think there's people getting into, like, conspiracy theories about the fires in LA and shit, and one of the Gavin Newsom interviews, I think, would kind of, like might, like, lean into some of those. Um, alright, order that I had. Alright, let me pull these up on Twitter. I think the worst thing about Twitter is that all these videos are from, like, they're definitely from, like, right-wing Twitter accounts. At least I would imagine. I haven't looked at any, like, political like, Twitter stuff in a long time until this fire stuff started happening, and then I went down the Gavin Newsom rabbit hole last night. Um,
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor
okay, so people, of course, they get way into this stuff. They already talk about how, like, he's sitting here laughing. Like, he's just sitting here in front of what looks like I don't know if this was on fire at some point, but it kind of looks like it. I don't know. But the fact that he's just sitting here laughing is kind of funny.
of
And then he's going to do this really giddy little dance as he talks about investors potentially buying burnt up land.
down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators.
Like, what is that? That's what gay guys do when they're talking about like a Friday night they just had.
Some land use concerns he has around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
He's in front of someone's burnt down house. He's doing Adderall dances in front of a burnt down house. Yeah, yeah, he just does weird stuff like that. There's one that was let me find this next one. There's one that's like him, the one where he's swaying back and forth, but the sway, like you can't explain it. I'm just gonna pull it up. I don't think this one. He's not talking about anything related to the fire. I don't think. I didn't even listen to what he was saying because it's his fucking swaying is so weird. It might be an older video. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, there's a ton of these videos going around about people that are like, dude, this guy's on drugs. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are, but
Governor, the budget is obviously a paramount process for you and the
okay, this sway that he's about to go into when he's gonna go over to the right, it's dude, it's like the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen.
you and the legislature, and I just want to ask you about something on the
Dude, he just went like across the entire screen. Like, how far are his legs spread apart that he's able to cover that distance in this sway? Do you see what I'm saying?
Governor, the budget is obviously a paramount process for you and the legislature, and I just want to ask you about something on
Like, dude, it looks like he's on like a fucking treadmill sideways, and it just took him all the way across the room.
the other end of the budget on a different topic on public safety. Do you think it looks good to the taxpayer for an assembly member who is also the wife of the attorney general to lead a committee that oversees his budget and other departments?
I literally don't know what you're referring to.
Assemblymember Mia Bonta is set to lead the budget sub 5.
Yeah, I don't think that one's about the fire. That one's just the goofy sway thing to me. I don't know how he covers that much
Obviously
distance.
a paramount process for you and the legislature, and I just want to ask you about
That's fucking hilarious. I think this stuff is so funny. Yeah, yeah, he like goes. It just seems way too far. It doesn't seem like he's standing like normally. He sways back and forth. Yeah, it covers the entire screen. Um, I don't think the other ones were particularly about like body language. I think they were more about the other ones get more into like the kind of like conspiracy stuff, but I'm gonna let those ones rip because that stuff is fun to me. There is one where he talks about the one that's been going around that everyone's where he talks about how the water was full and then the guy calls him out and he immediately is like, I'll give him that credit. He seems to be really good at doing the whole like he can kind of switch shit up just like on a dime like that. He can just say some shit and then immediately change and it sounds kind of natural. Let me pull this one up. I think he's talking about how there he's like, "There was water in the fucking reservoir," and then the interviewer goes, "No, but there wasn't," and then he goes, "You're right, there wasn't, but that's why I wanted to figure it out." It's fucking this one. Everyone's seen this one now.
I don't know what he's referring to when he talks about the Delta smelt and reservoirs. The reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here in Southern California. That mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us. Responding to Donald Trump's insults, we would spend another month. I'm very familiar with them. Every elected official that he disagrees with, very familiar with them.
We do know, though, from reporting here locally that that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation, to understand what was happening with that local reservoir. That was not a state system reservoir.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that shit was full. I don't know what they're talking about. It was fucking full. And the guy goes, yeah, but we found out that it wasn't actually full. And that's why I'm curious to learn about why it wasn't full. So I got to give him credit there. I'll give him total credit there. You know, if I was confronted like that, that's like when you cheat on your girlfriend and you tell her that you didn't. And then she pulls up proof that you did and you freeze. There's not really much you can say. Gavin Newsom could probably talk himself out of a situation like that better than most of us could. And so I guess I do have to give him credit for that. This dude's just a puppet at the end of the day. I'm sure he's perked. He probably is perked up 24/7. He could be like one of those dudes. So I think opiate lovers are like that. Those things give, they're like energy for those guys. So he could be one of those guys. I'm talking about how he could be on cocaine. You're saying he could be on Adderall. He could be on the perks and it just gets him feeling really good. That could also be why he's swaying back and forth like that. Cause that'll happen. It almost looks like he falls. That's why he sways so far. Cause he kind of falls a little bit. It'd be cool to I don't want to say do a video talking about all the politicians who are probably on drugs, but you probably do a good video on just yeah, all the politicians today who are on drugs. I'd imagine most of them are. They're probably just pills, as long as you get them from doctors. Now, there's another fantastic one. That I can't seem to find now. Oh, here we go. All right. I'll get into like conspiracy theory territory here for a second. I have like 3 or 4 videos for this whole. He talks about Los Angeles 2.0. Jeff Hardy would be the best guest. Oh yeah, for sure. Jeff Hardy would be awesome. Jeff Hardy would be awesome for it'd be cool to do like drug talk with Jeff Hardy. Talk about like withdrawals and shit. Cause you never hear those guys talk about withdrawals. That's what I always want when it comes to the motocross and music. Yeah, I think he builds like ramps and shit in his yard. Like out of dirt, like he makes his own like fucking courses and shit for his bikes. Yeah, it'd be cool to talk to him about just mostly the drug stuff. Yeah, no one ever talks about the withdrawals. That's always a big pet peeve of mine when you watch anybody who's like, I don't want to say famous for doing drugs and then getting off drugs, but like Phil Anselmo from Pantera, he was big on heroin, and then he used methadone to get off, which is pretty killer. That's a very not advisable way. You go to the methadone clinic, you get your daily dose. It's kind of like Suboxone, but methadone can actually get you high, and I don't think there's a blocker in it. Suboxone has a blocker, so if you take an opiate after a Suboxone, it won't get you high. But methadone digs its way into your bone marrow. So when you try to get off methadone, your bones actually hurt. Like apparently it's the worst. It's like the worst thing you can go through. But there's an interview where Phil Anselmo, and I know not every interview they're going to get into all the details, but he tells the story. I just decided that one day I was done, and I that's it. And I was like, that's not how it works. You don't just decide that one day you're done. Like you're in bed for 2 fucking weeks. up to a month and you feel like you're gonna fucking die and it's miserable and you know, you're sweating your body weight. Like, yes, no one ever really gets into all that too much. He's gotten into it a little bit before. There's another interview where he talks about he says something about like the withdrawals from methadone. He said they feel like you're falling from a skyscraper and he's like, and every 2 minutes the falling restarts. So you just constantly feel like you're gonna die. But yeah, it'd be cool to talk to Jeff about that stuff. I know I've seen an interview with Matt Hardy. I can't remember where, but he talked about going into rehab. And I've also heard Kurt Angle talk about it. And I was kind of surprised to learn with these two guys, they both said they went into rehab and there was no, you think about celebrities going to rehab, you imagine they get all kinds of like fancy treatments and medications, and there's probably not that much pain in the withdrawals. Kurt Angle was like, no, I went to rehab. They locked me in a room for a week. And I just felt like I was going to die for a week in my bed. And that was that. And then I think Matt said the same thing. He went to a rehab. Matt said that's how he wanted to do it, though, I think. He was saying that there's no other way he could have. He just needed to be locked in a room and forced to like go through it. But yeah, I would imagine most celebrities don't. They probably get a lot of treatments and prescriptions that help and stuff, which obviously that'd be the best way to do it. There's an argument that there's probably an argument to be made that those people don't learn their lessons when they don't have to go through go through it as hard as possible. I've heard that withdrawing in jail is like the worst thing that could ever happen, but some people say it's like the ultimate, like yeah, I'll never do that again because I'm not going back to jail and withdrawing. That sounds completely miserable. I've never heard any Ric Flair rehab stories, but I bet they are awesome. God, Ric Flair in rehab. Ric Flair is definitely the guy that would start drinking mouthwash, like, just to get drunk. Or he'd, like, sneak a single shot of Fireball into the rehab and, like, share it with his roommate and get them both kicked out or something. Dude, rehabs are crazy places because sometimes rehabs are, like, worst case scenario, the rehab is just where you meet other dealers and shit, and then you guys just start planning and, you know, you both leave or you both get out and you start connecting outside and shit like that. So, yeah, I can only imagine Ric Flair in fucking rehab. Alright, fuck it. I have this other one pulled up. I think this might be my last Newsom one, but this one's gonna get into, like, 3 other videos. 2 of them are videos of people, like, starting fires and shit. It might only be 1, I don't know, but fuck it. Let me pull up this last Newsom one because he says some shit that I think is kinda funny, and then, I can get carried away with, like, conspiracy theory type shit.
Over the course of the next several years, Los Angeles will be host to the World Cup and then the Super Bowl and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
My humble position, and it's not just being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. President of the United States, Donald Trump, to his credit, was helpful in getting the Olympics to the United States of America, to get it down here in LA. We thank him for that. This is an opportunity for him to shine, for this country to shine, for California and this community to shine. The opportunity with all of that and all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those 3 iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0.
Yeah, I think that shit's weird. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? LA 2.0. He already has a team. They're gonna build LA 2.0. What about just like taking care of LA? What about just making sure LA is cool? What the fuck is 2.0? What is this team?
and we were making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about
region,
this Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to
Dude, the Gavin Newsom thing, I could totally see him just being an actor. I think he's, like, so much of an actor that, like, it's kind of a detriment to like, yeah, realistically, he probably is just like I mean, he's probably a really smart dude. He's just, like, beholden to, like, the talking points of his group, which is why I don't like sides. I don't like left and right. I don't think there should be left or right. I think politicians should just be humans that have different ideas. But no, they're, like, very gang-like in the way that they're just expected to, stick with their party's, like, ideas and shit, and it's like, well, I think what's his name? John Fetterman? That Fetterman guy, the guy that had a stroke that everybody on the right was like, "No, this guy's retarded, we can't let him," and now it turns out he's just kinda like a normal dude. Like, I think he was on a podcast and he was talking about he's like, "Yeah, the Democrats are stupid. We shouldn't be letting millions of illegals pour into the country." Like, he's like the only dude that's like, yeah, I think he's a Democrat, but realistically, like, overall, he's just like, yeah, they have a lot of stupid ideas. To me, that's how everybody should be. Just, you don't need to your ideas don't need to match with either side. The LA 2.0 thing, there's more that I'll pull up that I think is funny or weird. If you just ground a point, you're pretty much kicked out of the gang. Yeah, exactly. If you just ground a point, you're kicked out of the gang. If you like one person's idea or a different person, you're kicked out of the gang. And it's like, dude, no wonder nobody fucking likes any of you.
really develop a mindset so that at scale, we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency, like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects.
I think he just goes on to there's like a couple seconds left of him just saying shit that doesn't mean anything. All of his hand movements. I would talk shit about his hand movements, but I think that's just like a politician thing. I've read somewhere that like psychologically people like pay more attention to you and respect you if you talk with your hands, something like that. I don't know. But it's he's pretty extreme about it. So yeah, he talks about LA 2.0. I don't know who this guy on Twitter is. Like I said, I went down a fucking rabbit hole. There's just this goofy dude who's talking about this shit. And he brought up a smart city, which I had never even heard about, but I thought it was at least an interesting clip. Let me pull it up.
Okay, so California's on fire, but we have like the best fire department in the world, right? We should be able to contain this, right?
I mean, we did, but the mayor cut the fire department's budget last year, so not enough personnel for this one.
What? Well, I mean, we don't need everybody. We just need a certain amount to spray the area with water.
Oh my god, I love that you say it. It's so funny because the state actually depleted its water reserves a couple months ago, so the firefighters literally don't have enough water to fight the fires with.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. We're in a drought, and so we depleted our water reserves? Well, at least the people that have fire insurance will be getting some money, right?
Ooh, this is awkward. Okay, don't get mad at me, but insurance companies like State Farm has not been allowing renewal of fire insurance policies since 2 months ago, and it's been canceling a lot of contracts.
So let me get this straight. 2 months before the fire, the state depleted its water reserves. Insurance companies have been canceling its fire insurance policy. It's like it's Maui all over again, but it's not like the state needs to free up a whole bunch of land to open up a new smart city infrastructure, right? Because we haven't announced anything like that, did we?
The LA district might have announced plans to set up a smart city by 2028.
So it's like Maui all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but he has good hair. So, I was, uh I was inclined to listen to him and finish that whole video. I did have to look up what a smart city was, which I guess it's just like it just sounds like the fucking Apple version of a city. But, yeah, I don't know. I still think this shit's weird. I still think it's weird that they pull money out of the budget at all. Like, whatever, say everything else is bullshit. The fact that you'd be, like, in charge of LA's budget and they pull any money out of it, any money at all, you pull $5 out of it, I think it's weird. You know that city's gonna catch on fire. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. It's like if I get up in the morning for work and I know I need 30 minutes to drink 2 cups of coffee, but I don't wake up 30. That's a terrible analogy. But you just know the place is gonna catch on fire. If anything, you should be pulling money out of other fucking things like transgender cafes and gay men's choirs to put into the fire department budget because you know it's and again, nothing against fucking transgender cafes and gay men's choirs. But what's more, what good are those places when the whole place is on fucking fire? What good is the 100 grand you put into the transgender cafe when it's just gonna burn down now? Just fucking leave the money in the fire budget. Quit fucking with it. Why are they fucking with it? Oh, there's a hilarious before I move on to the well, you know what? No, fuck it. I need to quit getting sidetracked. So, now there's all these clips of these fucking crazy looking dudes setting fires. And the conspiracy theory shit is I saw there was a comment under one of the videos when it was posted on Instagram, and somebody said, now ask them who is hiring them to set all these fires. And so, of course, I get a kick out of this shit way too much. There's a YouTube channel called, or there was one called Mind Shock. Like it shocks your mind and shit. I think he got kicked, and the guy's recently come back just under his name. His name's just Bruce McGuire. Dude, like one of my favorites. Sometimes he's a little ridiculous. He talks. It's really cool. It's this channel. It's kind of like I think like an intentionally poor audio quality. I'm really jealous of it. I would like to do it. He does the same shit I do, but there's just no video of him. He just has like a picture that's up while he's talking. Sometimes there's some video or some clips he uses, or the pictures change. But he gets pretty deep into conspiracy theory type shit. Sometimes a little too deep. One of my biggest, I can't remember what case it was. He does a lot of true crime stuff too. There was a case that he talked about. I think it was like a missing persons case or maybe an unsolved murder. But you know how when there's those true crime cases, you generally look at like, maybe like the last month of their life. Obviously, there are plenty of cases where you go deeper and you go further, but I swear to God, in this one case, he was talking about something that this girl did like years prior to the event. And I'm like, dude, I don't think that fucking matters. Like, he gets real deep. Like, oh, she went missing in 2018, but back in 2012, she had lunch at a McDonald's off of F Street. So is Ronald McDonald involved in this missing persons case? Like, no, dude, you're just I'm pretty sure he like even goes on Reddit and like reads Reddit comments from people that are like, I knew the victim and I know what happened, stuff like that. But he'll acknowledge that, this is fucking Reddit. He just gets into all kinds of crazy shit, which I like. I think it's cool when people just like say fuck it and just start going for cool stuff like that. So, dude, I would hope that he sees some of the stuff and gets into the LA fire stuff too, because that'd be cool to see what he's thinking about it. But yeah, so now there's all these clips of these dudes starting fires, which I do think it's weird. And like, why all of a sudden are people just starting like it? I mean, yeah, I guess people start fires all the time, but it seems like just now, for some reason, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's just people all across Los Angeles starting fires. And then this dude in particular, this guy just looks fucking crazy. It's actually kind of funny.
Hey, brother, why you do this, bro? Nah, bro, you going to jail, bro.
He's like taking his pants off. I think that's fire. I think that's Fireball right here. This looks like a bottle of Fireball. I don't remember if we see it up closer though. This looks like apple juice. For all we know, it's piss though. But it looks like he's got the entire inside of a dumpster. Just fucking burning. I think it's crazy people capitalizing on the moment. So there's two things that I would say. One, I doubt this guy. I don't know. Do you think these people like are up to date on this stuff? Like I guess they do give out phones to homeless people now, but I don't know. Like this guy doesn't. To me, this guy doesn't even look like he comprehends that like what's going on.
Nah,
Like what's he even saying?
do this, bro. Nah, bro, you going to jail, bro. Oh, the whole trash can on fire, bro. Who did it then?
Yeah, that's fucking fireball. That's awesome. W for this guy. That's great. Dude, look at this guy. Dude, come on, this guy is not starting a fire to capitalize on any kind of trend. But then the other thing that's funny, I saw some comments from people that are saying now there are social media people that are staging this shit. Like, like two friends. Like if me and Trey went out and, Trey, set a patch of grass on fire. And then I pull out my phone and start recording and walk up and act like I don't know him and I scold him. And then you post the video. So I wonder if that's this first. I doubt this guy is one of those people. This guy looks like he is fucking this guy looks like he got MK Ultra back in like the 1980s. But yeah, so there's kind of two theories that I think are interesting. Are people paying these motherfuckers to do this shit? And then how many of them are like, trying to be influencers and get a channel off the ground by going out and setting a small fire and then having their buddy record it and scold them about it?
Who did it?
Whoa!
Who did it?
Put it out, man. You did what? Fire shot.
You did the fire shot?
We did fire shot. Emergency, guys. My apologies, man.
Oh.
Okay.
You get on accident or accident?
Hey.
Okay.
Get out of here.
If it's about people. Hey.
All right, get him out of here, bro. Just get him out of here, bro. You be fucked up, bro.
Yeah, I know. The people don't always get to hear it.
Yeah, but you're going to jail, though. Oh, my gosh. Why you do that, bro?
I tried to put it out, man. I was just trying to get some heat, bro.
I know, but why you do that, though?
I wasn't trying to.
Trying to get some heat. Homeless people trying to stay warm. That also makes sense. I would also totally buy that on some of their behalfs, but it just seems like there's just a huge concentration of this, like, out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like I said, I like getting into this stuff, but it's just, it's just like, why the fuck all of a sudden now is just everybody in the world or everybody in Los Angeles, like, starting fires? Oh, yeah, they definitely need to start forcing more people into mental institutions. Dude, I got 5150 when I was 19 because, like, I was being a drama queen about getting in trouble with my parents and shit. Like, there's no way that guy in that last video should not be 5150, like, within the next 30 seconds. Yeah, no, trying to stay warm makes sense. I don't yeah, I just think the frequency of which it's happening right now is weird.
Nigga come through, he just caught this shit on. Nigga come through, he just caught this shit on fire, bro. He tryna. This is crazy, bro. There's people starting this fire. I just chased this nigga down. Crazy right now. And the water's making this shit worse, bro. The water's actually making this shit a lot worse. I can't even put the shit out. Wake up, man. Good thing I came outside, bro. This nigga was really trying to.
Yeah, I would like to find somebody that's trying to talk about like MK Ultra being like alive and well. People are setting shit on fire in LA now. That would be awesome. And that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to get into. That's exactly the kind of stuff I'm trying to get into. Oh, fucking A. giving homeless people fireball to start these fires. Yeah, I think that's cool stuff. I think that'd be a great story. I wish I could find some good shit on that. Like I said, I've only seen people talking about it. I still not seen any kind of, you know, any kind of, I think like fucking reasonable proof is the term I'm looking for. I don't think there's any like reasonable proof that there's anything weird like that going on. Yeah, I think it's weird. I don't know. I guess maybe I don't know, maybe this shit could be, like, just happening all the time, constantly, and it just so happens that now LA is on fire, so now people are paying attention to it. It could also be that. I just enjoy looking for conspiracy theories and things, even if I don't believe them. That YouTube channel I was just talking about, they had a video series, I think they talked about the lizard people, the whole shape-shifting lizards and shit, which is, like, the most bullshit thing in the world. I really think the shape-shifting lizards is worse than flat Earth. But dude, I'll still listen to it because I wanna know why people think that, there are shape-shifting lizards that rule the earth. There's a great, there's a great story about some lady back in the day. Is she still alive? Her name is Sherry Shriner. She is, like, exactly what I wish I could be on the internet. Um, yeah, I think she's still alive. She basically started some people call it an online cult. I wouldn't really call it a cult. I think she just kinda, had some people that believed what she was saying. She started her own show. I think it was like talkradio.com or blogtalk.com. Super early, podcast type stuff. Um, stuff that stuff that like Dr. Foxmeat was doing before anybody else was doing. But she was talking about lizard people and demons show up to her house and it's like the FBI that are demons and they show up at her house and try to kill her, and she of course sells these weird rocks online that you can buy to protect your house from that type of shit. But that whole story is fucking crazy. It's awesome. I always wish I could. Again, she had like the kind of spooky sounding, her audio quality was like just a little bit subpar, just enough to sound creepy that like if you're listening to this at 11 p.m. at night, it might kinda freak you out a little bit. She's talking about shape-shifting lizards and shit. That's what I would like to do. I would like to get on here and talk about how, homeless people are being MK Ultra'd into going out into LA and starting fires. And I wanna be one of those spooky dudes that, gets this shit rolling. Yeah, yeah, aliens that actually rule our society. I think our rulers, which I guess would be the government, I think they're too stupid. That's what stops I mean, first of all, what stops me from believing that our government is like lizards and aliens is just fucking common sense. But second of all, if like shape-shifting lizards and interdimensional aliens are real, I would like to think they're intelligent. I don't think fucking Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I've been trying to be better. I will not call those people stupid or like low IQ. They are obviously a million times more successful than I will ever be. I'll never have Donald Trump money. I'll never have Kamala Harris popularity. Like, so realistically, no, I can't say these people are stupid, but they're not, they're certainly not fucking shape-shifting lizard levels of intelligence. I've seen some people talk about the aliens and demons. I don't really think so. I like to think there are aliens, and I think they're just aliens. I would imagine they're interdimensional. Um, the demon subject is weird because if you get into demons, you kinda have to get into the Bible and, like, Jesus. I guess maybe you don't have to. I guess there's kind of you could make some arguments that they're just, like, spiritual things that aren't good, like people that die bitter, I guess, or angry and come back and, they're not good spiritual characters. But, I don't think aliens are demons. Yeah, that is true, but I think it still takes some level of intelligence to get to that, like, Kamala Harris. No, I don't think she's a fucking genius. I don't think she's smart. But she's obviously socially smart, or like, just realistically, she could be the dumbest person on earth, but what am I gonna say? I'm sitting in my fucking room with a bunch of red lights behind me with a 1960s and 70s Playboy model on a poster behind me, talking to literally one person on the internet who I could just be texting right now. So, I really can't sit around and say that, like, "Oh, yeah, she's fucking stupid," and, like, Donald Trump is stupid. I believe they're demons in the biblical sense, that they're evil and the balance of good and evil. So you think aliens are evil? Like, there's no such thing as a good alien? You don't think, there could be a good alien flying around out there in space right now? Dude, this is what I should do. I wanna start a knockoff confessionals. If I could get people to write in their stories. What I've always wanted to do to kind of try to get a show popular is, like the confessionals, like I was talking about. It's he has people on the show and they tell their stories. But then there are other shows where they don't have people on, but they'll have people send in their stories. So like somebody might email in a story and this guy will read it on the air and they'll talk about it. But yeah, no, I think there are aliens out there too. I don't think they're all evil. Well, I don't know. I couldn't imagine that all aliens are evil. The demon thing is very interesting, but it would be impossible to prove as it's spiritual in nature. But, what was I saying? Yeah, always thought it would be cool to do, a show where I present it as if people are writing in their true stories, but it's really just me writing the stories, at least until the show gets popular enough to get people actually writing in. So, like, I'd start and be like, "Oh, Jerry from Nashville, Tennessee wrote me in this story about an encounter he had in the woods with potentially Bigfoot." And then, hopefully after enough of that, the show would take off enough to where people would start actually writing in. I also thought that would be cool with, there's channels that tell like true scary stories. People will submit their stories, and it's like one time when I was 16, my mom left me home alone and somebody broke into the house. That I would be good at, because that's just like writing real life horror stories. There's a channel called Mr. Nightmare. I think it's like the biggest channel of that genre where people write in their stories. And then, yeah, it's like a lot of one time I was at the gas station with my girlfriend at like 1 in the morning, and a guy rolled up in a car with a gun and he went to rob us, and like real life horror stories, stuff that happens that's actually realistic, and stuff that actually that's the stuff that spooks me out, thinking about, being downstairs in the kitchen at midnight and you look out the window and there's a face, and then the next thing you know, some guy is banging on the yeah, Mr. Nightmare is awesome. There's another one called Blue Spooky. He's really good. He gets a lot of stories from Reddit, I'm pretty sure. He might be so big now that people write in. Oh, dude, the pizza delivery stories. Yeah, those are great. That's, that was yeah, and that was my first job too, as a pizza delivery boy. Well, I was the pizza cook, and then I moved up to delivery driver. That was the fucking best job in the world. But that's just because the town that I was working in. I loved that I loved the town. That was before iPhones too. I used to have to look at a map. I mean, that's just how well I knew, that's just how well I knew Dixon. I'd get an order and there was a map in the back. You go look at the fucking map, get the address, and then you take off and just get that kid. Yeah, that's just fucking Dixon. That's small town shit. But yeah, I've heard some of the stories where like the delivery driver gets to the house and it's clearly like an empty house. Nobody actually lives there. Walks up to the door and can tell there's a guy waiting behind the front door for him, stuff like that. I always thought it'd be cool to do, a channel write all the stories myself and just, "Oh, this was submitted by Tom from New Jersey." Yeah, until it gets big enough to where people actually start writing in their stories. And it just be a fun way to start, like, flexing your own writing chops. Dude, that's what I should be fucking doing. And it's so easy too. All you do is you just record your voice. You just record your voice and you put the track over a picture and just upload the video. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not doing that. That's some shit that I should do. If I had some scary shit happen, I could. You should. You told a scary story that I heard. I think it was your friend's story about. I don't remember what it was, but shit. What was it? Something about like an apartment complex that your friend moved into. I don't remember. But yeah, no, you should write in. Or I don't want to say write in. Obviously, you could just hit me up. But yeah, I don't really have any. I'm trying to think like real life scary stories. I mean, I've been in more of my things are like I've been waiting outside of a house for my dealer to come out and sell me a bag, and I hear gunshots from probably like a couple houses down. It's like midnight. And then a car speeds by. I'm like expecting this car to like start shooting at my car, stuff like that. Not really like I'm home alone and a guy starts trying to break into the house. That's like terrible stuff. That's stuff that's and I'm paranoid. That's stuff that I have like a plan for. Like I actually have my shoes are always kind of by my bedside. And I have a plan that if I hear a weird noise downstairs, I'm gonna open my window and kick out the screen. The police station. I happen to live right by the police station, it's like 2 blocks away. Um, I'd go to the lowest part of the roof, jump onto the front lawn. Yeah, no, it's that's like real life scary shit. It's like a fucking dude breaking into your house. And there's no way that shit doesn't happen here where I live. There, like, on this block, weird shit happens, just because it's like, homeless people at night, like, crazy people, like, moving stuff around in the neighborhood. There's always stories of, like, neighbors on the street, like, they wake up and there's, like, a homeless dude sleeping on their front porch, which that alone isn't necessarily scary, but that could very easily turn into, "There's a guy banging on my window at 2 in the morning," and I wake up and see a fucking creepy looking face out the window. Windows at nighttime are, like, one of my biggest fears. Windows at nighttime, and then the sound of knocking on a door. Specifically, like, in a situation where there's not, you know what I mean? Like, if you're in your living room at, like, 2 p.m., you sure it's probably just the Amazon guy, but when it's, like, 2 in the morning and you're, like, having trouble sleeping and you hear a fucking knock, specifically, like, a bang on the door, those YouTubers always use those audio clips of, like, someone, like, banging on a door, and you can just tell it's not right. I've always been told that I knock like a cop. That was always the worst thing. I try to fix it. I don't really know how to fix it. Anytime I would knock on a dealer's door, they'd always get mad and be like, "Dude, it sounds like a fucking cop is like knocking on the door." Dude, I don't know how to fix that one. No, it wasn't that one, but that sounds like a great one too. Dude, there's probably a lot of good scary Uber stories. Uber and DoorDash. I would think Uber more so because your people are actually getting in your car and you're spending time with them. There's probably a lot of scary stories for girls, like, getting into Uber drivers' cars and, like, them not take them, going off on a weird road or some shit. Yeah, no, it wasn't that one. I don't think you ever told me that one. That sounds like a great one. Man, who would shoot their fucking Uber driver? The world is way too trusting nowadays, too. That's what's crazy, is, like, the world only gets crazier, and with the internet, the world only gets more trusting. There was that meme that came out forever ago that was like, back in the day, my mom always told me, like, never get in the car with a stranger. But in today's world, you use your phone to summon a stranger to get in his car. Story's fucking hilarious, but my buddy said he genuinely thought he was gonna die. Yeah, sounds like a great story. Man, feeling like you're gonna die. There's only been one time in my life I think I thought I was gonna die, and, yeah, that is true. The hitchhiker shit is a pretty trusting story. Yeah, what's up, dirty white boy? Oh, you're in time. We still have not watched the video of Jimmy Kimmel crying. So, congratulations. You will get to see Jimmy Kimmel crying like a fucking pussy on live TV again. I never do that shit. Hitchhiking, I would hitch. It depends. Because Uber is basically hitchhiking, except you have the security of like the world knows where you are because it's logged on your phone. You know, they can see, okay, he got in a car with this guy. Whereas hitchhiking, you know, nobody knows where you go. What I was gonna say, the only time I thought I was gonna die. It's not like a scary story. I was with some friends and we were drinking. We were at the lake, and there were these two girls we were with. There was like a small island out like a distance away from where we were, and we were joking that it was is it Destiny Island? I haven't played Kingdom Hearts in so long. We were joking that it was the island from Kingdom Hearts, and so we were like, "Oh, let's fucking swim out there. Let's swim out there." So of course, me and my buddy, we sit down, we start drinking, and the two girls swim out to this island like no problem. Just they're fucking waving, take a picture of it, fucking cool. They swim back. So me and my buddy, Protomax, who name starts with an L again. Um, so we get out there, we start swimming, and both of us pretty much like do not couldn't have even been like a quarter of the way there. We both kind of look at each other and we're like, dude, I can't really swim. I'm not a good swimmer. We pretty much had this realization. We're like, oh yeah, both of us really don't know how to swim. So we start swimming back. We make it like halfway back. We're like so close to the shore, but we both start going down. Dude, I remember like literally like I'm breathing in water. Like I'm gonna die. Like this is the part where I'm like, yeah, I'm like, dude, this is it. Like, I'm gonna drown in this fucking lake because I got drunk and I thought I could swim out to that island. The two girls showed me up. I start thinking about no, 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 my life wasn't like flashing before my eyes, but you start thinking about I don't know, like what you did last week. Like I don't know. It was super. I legitimately thought I was gonna drown. I was like, this is it. Like I'm now accidentally breathing in water. This is the part where I drown. But then and it was funny because our 2 friends, they were on the shore sitting there laughing at us. Like, I think they thought we were kinda fucking around because they kept going, "Dude, just fucking you're right here, just swim back." Like, we could not have been, like, 15 feet. And both of them are just like, "Dude, fucking" and we're like, "No, we're not gonna make do." We're, like, screaming for their help at this point. Oh, that shit was hilarious. And then, yeah, no, our 2 buddies, both of them who you also knew, one more so than the other. But, yeah, they jump in. They fucking one of them grabs a hold of the other buddy, one grabs a hold of me, and they get us back up. Dude, I remember when I got back up to shore, I just, like, fell to, like, my hands and knees. I've never been more exhausted in my life. Like, I physically could not get up, just, like, pissed drunk. That's the worst part too, is I'm sure half of it was because I was drunk, of course. But that's the worst part is that it's, you're drunk, so, like, your body is kinda, like, in, like, feel good mode, but at the same time, you're gonna die. That's a thought I also have a lot too, is imagine getting in those kinda, like, life or death scary situations, but you're, like, intoxicated. Like, imagine you're drunk, and somebody breaks into your house, and, now it's, I gotta get a knife. Time for that type of shit. Or, well, I don't know, what if you're high? Dude, if I was smoking pot, it'd be game over for me. I'm completely dysfunctional when I'm smoking pot. That's why I don't smoke pot, like, very often, but when I do, it's at nighttime before bed, that type of shit. It's just not I can't do that shit and do anything. Dude, Jimmy Kimmel is has to be like the biggest pussy on the face of the earth. All right, I'll do the Jimmy Kimmel thing real quick. Jimmy Kimmel, I will not criticize him for crying about the LA. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure he has a lot of friends and potentially family that are have lost their houses. Maybe some people that have died. Like, yeah, it sounds pretty bad. But like, cry to your wife at home. Cry to your best friend behind a closed door. Don't get on national TV and cry. I don't know, the Dirty White Boy, I don't know if they're still in the chat, but, like, when we get on tomorrow night, dude, if we were ever on stream and you started crying, I would kick you off immediately. I would click you off the screen immediately, and you would never come back. We would never stream together again if you got on here and cried. If you cried to your girlfriend about something, awesome. I'm glad she's there to console you in your time of, whatever. But if you wanna get on the stream and cry, I know you're not going to. This is my example. That's just not gonna happen, you know? It's just not gonna happen. I don't know why Jimmy Kimmel feels the need to keep getting on his show. Probably, honestly, the most popular late night TV show today, I would say, is Jimmy Kimmel's. It could be Jimmy Fallon's just because he's on, like, the classic, the late night show. But I would argue Jimmy Kimmel is probably the most popular, late night guy right now, which sucks, but he is. I don't know why he feels the need to keep crying on his show. And it's always political. It's always politics. Dude, if you're a grown man, if you're crying about politics, I feel nothing for you. I don't care. I feel no sympathy for you. Dude, I don't care if Adolf Hitler came back to life tomorrow and took over America. Yeah, I don't wanna see you crying about it if you're a grown man. I just don't. Dude, grown men, like, you cry about things, your girlfriend dumps you. Cry. Cool. Cry to your friends behind closed doors. Your mom dies. Of course, cry. Another close friend dies. Your hometown is on fire and your best friend loses his house, stuff like that. Go ahead, cry. But you're crying about politics? 'Cause that's what this turns into. He starts talking about the fire stuff, but then it very quickly turns into, "Oh, Donald Trump said some racist shit," so he's just fucking crying about this stuff. On live TV, crying over some shit is totally fine, but crying over politics is bitch shit. Yeah, and then add to the fact that it's on TV. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's almost, like, become his thing at this point. Like, if there's a Republican victory or, I don't know, if a Republican does anything, you can pretty much count on Jimmy Kimmel to cry about it on TV.
As you know, it has been a very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in LA, where we work, where we live.
You can already hear it. You can already hear the voice shaking. Again, if this conversation is happening with, like, his wife at home, totally fine. But he's on TV, and he's in front of an audience. Like, there are people, dude, imagine how awkward it is. You get you get tickets to go see Jimmy Kimmel. Dude, imagine you and your family get tickets to go see Jimmy Kimmel. You're all excited, and it's an episode where he cries. He gets on stage, and he starts crying. Dude, I'd feel awkward. I'd feel super awkward. I'd be like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." Do I think it's crocodile tears? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either way, either or. That's the thing about Jimmy Kimmel. I wouldn't be surprised if it's crocodile tears because he's an actor and he's been on TV, for like most of his adult life, and he's just playing the game. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he's just actually a huge pussy. In either or, neither would surprise me. Jimmy Kimmel being a huge pussy is like the most believable thing in the world to me.
Where our kids go to school. We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. This That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had.
I should have brought him up here. I think Annie's gonna come on Thursday if she can again. But she sent me some pictures, like from right outside her house, and they're pretty much like what. Of course, I pull up the video to reference it, and it's just a guy. They look pretty similar to like this. So I should see if I can pull those up on Thursday. Thursday, if she comes on, that'll probably be like the real fire episode. This is mostly I'm just talking shit about Gavin Newsom and Jimmy Kimmel episode, which I guess I always have to state just for full disclosure, if it was a Republican who was doing all the same shit that Gavin Newsom is doing, I would talk just as much shit about him. I feel like you always have to say that on the internet, and I doubt it matters. I doubt it matters, but yeah, I don't like any of those guys. I was just talking shit about Donald Trump to a buddy earlier. I guess to even it out, yeah, I think it's ridiculous that Donald Trump's been the guy. Dude, he just posted something about how he's gonna start he said, the IRS sucks and the IRS like tortures Americans, and yeah, that is true. I guess I don't know if it's a joke or not. He said he's gonna start the external revenue. I forget what, I don't know. Is it services, whatever the fuck the S stands for? The ERS, and they're gonna be the place that's in charge of collecting taxes and tariffs from foreign countries. So I was talking shit because I think it's annoying that he basically has ran like this whole campaign on how he's gonna like shrink the government and get rid of all these unnecessary government agencies and groups and dismantle this and dismantle that, which that I think is awesome. Yeah, we should get rid of like fucking 75% of the government. But it seems like he's starting all these new government groups and agencies. Like he made that whole Doge thing just for Elon Musk, which I also think is weird. I don't hate Elon Musk like a lot of my friends do and like a lot of liberals do. I'm kind of indifferent toward him. I just don't really care. Twitter is the same as it's always been. It's just, I don't really think he's that much of a fucking nightmare. But I don't like that why is he in charge of some government agency? Like to me, it seems like he just like bought a seat at the table to say one of those political phrases that makes me sound cool. Seems like he totally just bought a seat at the table. Why is he in charge of shit? What did he do? So that I don't like. I don't like how he ran this whole campaign on getting rid of half the government, but now he's just like starting all these new agencies. But then he's going to be out of office in 4 years, and then there's just going to be all these new agencies that he started. And then what's going to happen, like when Gavin Newsom becomes president and he wants to use the Doge group to shrink the government to the groups that he it's, I don't know. I think it's weird. It's like saying you're going to fight, you're going to destroy the government by creating another group of government to do it. Well, then are you really shrinking shit, or are you just substituting one for another? So there's my little thing about talking shit about the other side. I'll clip this part so I can post this to let people know that I am fair and balanced.
This fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's how.
Yeah, see, like that, totally fine. Totally fine. You can cry about that. If someone in my group chat, or if Trey texted me tomorrow and was like, "Oh, my home just burned down," I might shed a tear for the guy, but I'm not going to do it on YouTube. That's not how I'm going to go about it.
Hollywood. It's been terrible. It's been a terrible. Everyone who lives in the city knows someone. Most of us, multiple people, families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down. And the truth is, we don't even know if it's over. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds fueling this nightmare. As of tonight, the winds are back. And I think I speak for all of us when I say it has been a sickening, shocking, awful experience, but has also been, in a lot of ways, a beautiful experience because Once again, we see our fellow men and women coming together to support each other. People who lost their own homes were out volunteering in parking lots, helping others who lost theirs. And tonight, I don't want to get into all the vile and irresponsible and stupid things our alleged future president and his gaggle of scumbags chose to say.
I also love how he's calling him our alleged future like, bro, he's gonna be the president in like less than a week. What do you mean alleged? Like he's really that like he's really that in denial about this shit. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted.
Say during our darkest and most terrifying hour. The fact that they chose to attack our firefighters, who apparently aren't white enough to be out there risking their lives on our behalf, it's disgusting, but it's not surprising. Instead, I want to focus on thanking those men and women because
yeah, so that the whole last part, that's the part where he of course turns it political. And honestly kind of lies. I'm glad I just did my little thing about talking shit about the other side, because now I have to not defend the other side, but Jimmy Kimmel just fucking lied. Like no one's talking shit about the fire department for not being white enough. No one ever said anything like that. They're talking shit about like the hiring practices of these groups. You know, what is it, like the DEI stuff, which, you know, I also think it's whatever. I think it's fucking goofy. I think in most cases it's goofy at worst. Like if Target wants to only hire a bunch of certain kinds of people, then whatever, who gives a fuck. But yeah, I would say, yeah, in the case of like pilots, you know, airplane pilots and like firefighters, yeah, they shouldn't be doing that shit. You know, people really could die. But yeah, no one's talking shit about them for not hiring enough white people. First of all, there's all these things, you know, they've been talking about how like LA is not, they're not like giving them enough money to hire enough firefighters at all in the first place. Like they don't have enough people. That's like half of the problem. That's one of the things. They're talking shit about like mismanagement and incompetence. Not that there's no white fire. No one ever fucking said that. So Jimmy Kimmel is like totally straw manning the other side's argument, crying about it on TV. So that would lead me to think that it's crocodile tears. The fact that he like is completely misrepresenting the argument from the other side while crying about it. Yeah, certain things need to be strictly merit based. Yeah, like there's that video going around right now of that the equity chief of the fire department in LA, which what the fuck is that? Uh, you know, they make the joke. I think I have that one too. Just because literally everybody in the world has played this video now. So I might as well follow suit.
Whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand. There's
Yeah, that whole thing.
somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease.
To me, this is like the weirdest form of narcissism. To act like, if I call the fire department to come help me in my burning house, I want somebody that looks like me. Doesn't that read just like total narcissism? Like you're so desperate to see other people that look just like you. Like go look in a fucking mirror, dude. Spend an extra 5 minutes in the mirror every day and grow the fuck up. And it's the same thing. I've always said it's the same thing with people talk about like representation in movies nowadays. They really want to see people that look like them. Yeah, just put the fucking fire out. Like, no, I don't want to do first of all, when I'm watching a movie, I'm trying to distract myself from real life as much as possible. I want to think about myself as little as possible. Yeah, when I go to my doctor, I want my doctor to look like me. I want my dentist. So you want to be surrounded by just a bunch of people that look like you at all times? Like that's really how into yourself you are? To me, that's very strange. You know, If somebody's breaking into my house, to go back to that subject, if I have to call the cops, no, I really don't give a fuck if the cop looks like me. I really don't care at all. And then it's the last thing this person says that everyone's talking about.
Knowing that somebody might understand their situation better, is she
Hey, if they look like me, they'll understand that my house is on fire a little better, right? If a 6'3" white guy with long hair shows up, he will understand my situation a little better. My situation is that I'm 2 minutes away from dying of smoke inhalation, and there's a support beam that's now fallen on top of me. Please understand my situation a little better.
strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
That's the comment. That's the one that everyone's talking about. And I agree, that person should be fired. I think this is a lady. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about that. I think she should be fired for saying that. I don't think you can say that. That's like straight up victim blaming somebody that's like in a fucking house on fire. What's up, Sherm Smoke? Dude, I've been trying to talk about trending topics lately. This is something I've realized I've been needing to do. Only because last week's stream where I talked about the fire, it's gotten more views out of all my live streams recently. It is my first live stream in recent memory to cross into triple digits in views. So I figure the LA fire is a good thing right now. Yeah, fuck it. This video already has 1 dislike, though. I'm looking at it right now. Someone has already come through and disliked my video about Gavin Newsom being on the sauce. So that's awesome. But yeah, no, you can't just hire people based on that stuff. It's just who cares? Who gives a fuck? And then, yeah, nobody was saying that they need their fire department to be all white. Like nobody. I mean, I guess if they are, like, if it's all white dudes that become the best fire department, then cool, yeah. But if it's all black dudes who are like, pass the tests and are like the best fire department, then yeah, fucking awesome. I don't care. The thing that's funny though is that whole argument where she says you want someone that looks like you. If I said that, it would be like racist. Like if I said, because I'm white, if I said, you know, I want my fireman to show up and I want him to look like me, they would say that I'm being racist about that. Gavin Newsom disliked the video. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom right now is on a cocaine bender, and I received word from a reputable source that he is probably going to send me a cease and desist letter. Cease and desist letter. I can't talk. Why not letting me know that I am in fact racist? I've been caught. They're on to me. Dude, why not? You showed up way too late because I just went on a great rant talking shit about Donald Trump earlier. And of course you're showing up when I'm talking shit about the left wingers. No one ever catches me doing both. This is the problem. No one ever gets the real me. No one understands me. Gavin's on a sick one. Dude, Gavin Newsom has probably got a great doctor. And he's probably got a great plug out on the streets, you gotta have one of each. That's the thing. You gotta have the doctor, and then you gotta have the street plug. You can't just have one. You gotta have both. Protomax, I need a white Mexican Pokemon fan to save my house from the fire. No one else can do the job. It's not that no one else can do the job. It's just that the white Mexican Pokemon fan will understand your house fire better. Time to cancel Disco Rob. Dude, getting canceled is like my dream come true. You know how excited I would be? I don't understand these people that they get canceled and they come out and they do these 5-minute apology videos and they talk about, oh, this has been a very informative situation. I feel so educated now and I just want to apologize. Like, no, fuck all of you. You guys are all a bunch of fucking wusses. I'd be so excited. That is pretty much the goal of the channel, if we're being honest here. There is no such thing as bad publicity. There is no such thing as bad publicity. At some point, I do want to I might title the video tomorrow. Tomorrow on the stream with Trey. I would like to make some kind of design that talks about You can be like EDP. EDP wasn't that guy, the Protomax, that's not the same guy that creep was talking about on here the other night, right? No, but didn't EDP get canceled for some shit with, like, a kid? That's different. That is the one publicity that's not good, when you get caught, like, talking to kids and shit. So that's the exception. If you're getting canceled for talking to children. Um, dude, when you look up EDP, it says engineering design process, electronic data processing, exploring difference and power, the Eastern Daily Press, or the EDP League. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna start calling the show the Octagon Bro Show. It sucks because the way it used to be was it was Octagon Bro Show presents. No, it was Octagon Bro Show Productions presents Disco Acid Cult TV. That was the whole thing. And then at one time, when I thought the Disco Acid Cult Instagram page was gonna never recover from that strike, I was gonna change the name to Scratch Cat Devil Gang TV. Now we got a new guy here from Twitch. You're mistaken. Epstein, Diddy, MJ, a lot of money was made selling these stories. What stories? What stories are we talking about, my friend? I really don't know much about the Epstein stuff. I've never really looked into the Epstein stuff. I've never been all that curious about the Diddy stuff, even though that's current too. I should be talking about the Diddy stuff every week because that's like what's going around right now. Yeah, EDP. Yeah, that's a whole different kind of cancellation. I want to get canceled for being like racist or sexist or something ist or something. Those are the cancellations that are No, MJ probably saying like Michael Jackson. So are you saying that those stories about these people are fake? Is that what you're saying? Like, are you one of the people that thinks Michael Jackson wasn't actually into kids? Or are you saying that he was? No one talking about Diddy anymore. I heard a story recently that Diddy is he's apparently envious. He's jealous of Luigi Mangina in prison because Luigi's apparently popular in prison, and Diddy is apparently jealous of the attention that he's getting. Yes, fabricated. What's interesting? You mentioned this. We've talked about this before. The Michael Jackson thing. Um, I've heard some convincing arguments that he was framed with that whole thing, but then I've also heard convincing arguments that he really was a weirdo and was into kids. I can never decide which one I think. I'm curious to hear both sides of the story, though. Diddy and Luigi are not in prison. Oh, dude, this is the guy I want to talk to. What do you think about the LA fires? Do you think there's something weird going on? How there's just a bunch of people that are just randomly starting fires all across LA now? I'm hoping you start talking that like homeless people are being MK Ultra. That's what I'm trying to do here. Dude, start talking about lizard people. I don't even care. I want to hear this stuff. Dude, who do you think is hiring all who is paying all these bums to start fires all simultaneously across Los Angeles? Also, what kind of drugs do you think Gavin Newsom is using? Because he's definitely on something. Luigi Mangina. Yeah, dude, I can't pronounce the last name. It's Mangina as far as I'm concerned. Yes, there's a history of nonsense fires, Hawaii and Paradise, California. Yeah, the Hawaii thing. The Hawaii thing was super obvious. I mean, there were literally cops telling the people to not leave town. You have to stay in town. You have to stay in the town that's on fire. But LA, I think it's weird that there's just a bunch of people just randomly starting fires now. Just all of a sudden, that's just like the hot thing to do in LA. Let's go outside and start fires. I know arson's always been a thing. Homeless people got to keep warm. I'm sure that happens a lot. I'm sure they start fires and trash cans and shit trying to keep warm. Gavin fucks with Sherm for sure. We have Sherm is confirmed as Gavin Newsom's street plug. The goal of this stream is to get a cease and desist letter from Gavin Newsom. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I would sell it on eBay. Wouldn't take more than a half pack of cigarettes to get the homeless to start fires. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All they got to do is, you know, dude, here's a couple, not even full, dude, here's a couple refries, dude. Here's a couple refries out of the ashtray in my car. Will you go over there and set that dumpster on fire? Controlled burn fires versus wildfires. To me, they're like wildfires, but they're just started by somebody. You know, I think the whole point is that they're out of control. My homie sold Gavin fake perks. You got to give me are you actually saying like you have a homie that sold Gavin Newsom fake perks? I'm not asking for the homie's name. Just is this true, or are you just being a little rascal in the chat? Only if they're menthols. Yeah, I'd set something on fire for some menthols. Dude, that's what I hate about Gavin Newsom. He took away my Marlboro Smooths. You roll up, you sell me a pack of Marlboro Smooths, I'll set whatever you want on fire within reason. Preferably my ex-girlfriend's house. But if that's not what it's gonna be, that's fine. Anything will do. Just bring me those Marlboro Smooths. God, dude, that's all I ever want to talk about. I thought Paradise was started by PG&E. Yeah, but isn't that weird in itself? Like PG&E is starting fires. Yeah, all I ever want to talk about at work is how Gavin Newsom took away Marlboro Smooths. Yet you can buy weed on every street corner now. There's a weed dispensary, like multiple in every town, except for my town, which is kind of funny. But I was at a casino a couple weeks ago. Every menthol but Marlboro Smooths. Dude, they're the best menthol. That's the main reason I want to go back to Vegas. That is like the main reason that I want to go back to Vegas is for Marlboro Smooths. In Paradise and Maui, the tell was the concrete structure demolition and lack of metal in any of the homes as they had been empty, or as if they had been empty. Wait, like people's homes? Like there was no metal, like no metal objects in their homes, or there was no metal in the structure of their homes, or both? So you think like the towns had been evacuated before the fire started? Going back. Yeah, we do have to go back. I need some more Marlboro Smooths. I need to just buy a whole carton. Just suck it up and buy a carton. I make enough money now to buy cartons of cigarettes. At this time, it seems as though being started from within the house or building. What house or building? They're all being started outside right now. The ones in LA anyways. Yes, washing machines, refrigerators, metal does not vanish when burned. I was just thinking about today, Jesus Christ, bro. People smoking weed every fucking day, but God forbid I smoke a menthol. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not anti-weed or anything, but how you gonna take menthols away from me, but not let but let me smoke weed all day long? Everything is legal in Nevada. Yeah, Nevada is cooler than California. Everything's cooler than California. California is the most taxed, like overtaxed state in the country, yet you get like the shittiest bang for your buck. You get nothing. You know, you get Gavin Newsom buying up all the good perks, doing up all the good cocaine, and then he takes all your money on top of it. Dude, I don't understand how can actually like that guy. I was on Reddit. Reddit is pretty much like left wing central, and there was a whole thread about how Gavin Newsom's actually been a really good governor, and all the bad stuff he does is just like right wing misinformation, disinformation, whatever. I just think the guy sucks. Yeah, fire hydrants out of water. Yeah, sure. Yeah, see, that one I've heard both. I've heard that they are out, and then I've heard that they're not out. No, Gavin Newsom, the fake perks. Yeah, dude, if Gavin Newsom, that's the straw that breaks my back. If that guy can't even tell the difference between good perks and bad perks, yeah, Gavin Newsom will be president at some point, and it's gonna suck. It is definitely gonna suck. Um, the whole country will catch on fire. There will be homeless people starting fires in every state across the country. Yeah, no, I've been saying he's gonna be president for forever. Democrats fucking like that guy. I don't know why. And that's not even like aside from, I don't know. I don't see what people see in the guy. I don't. Dude, like, I found that clip the other day of where back in the day where he fucked his campaign manager's wife. Like, the guy's a dirtbag, which that is probably my favorite thing about him. Now that I'm learning he is a sucker and buys fake perks, I respect him even less. How long have you been looking into conspiracy theories? Uh, Pretty much my entire, like, adult life. I'm 31, I'm too old to be doing this shit, but, I think Democrats are gonna try one next time. AFC, dude, the love of my life. AOC is, uh, so not smart, but she is one of the prettiest girls in the world. Dude, I would hold her hand for the entire length of a scary movie. Dude, I would spend my entire bank account. I'd give up my entire checking account just to impress AOC. She is 100% the love of my life. Um, I'm just gonna call you 76, or I guess, the more. I don't know if it's the more or Themore or Thumore. Um, my favorite topics with the conspiracy theories, of course, 9/11. 9/11's a great one. There's a lot to get into. I'm pretty sure it's seen as like, I don't wanna say like as a joke, but one of the documentaries I saw that really fucked me up back when I was younger was the Zeitgeist documentary. Would you drink AOC's bathwater? No, I would pay money to drink her bathwater. Yeah, 100%. 1,000,000%. I would drink the entire bath of AOC's water. I wouldn't even ask to refrigerate it beforehand either. I would drink it hot, straight out of the tub, after she just got done at the gym. AOC, 1 hour after the gym, I'll pay money, I'll drink the bathwater. With 9/11, how far do you go? Um, the farthest I've gone is pretty much the Zeitgeist documentary. That's pretty much, proper depravity. Yeah, we do get into, I talk a lot of shit here. I'm still working on finding my balance of talking about 9/11 and drinking AOC's bathwater. I like to think this is training to, you know, nobody knows who I am yet, so I can say whatever the fuck I want for the time being. But yeah, 9/11. Like, it's the Bushes. Obviously, the Bushes are involved. One of my favorite things is that, the morning of, the Bushes are having breakfast with the Bin Ladens. Like, what I also love the passports, right? The passports of the hijackers are just super coincidentally found on the street, like, a couple blocks away. Everything else was burned to a crisp, and nothing recognizable was found. Not a single plane part, but the passports, those are totally fine. But yeah, how far do you go with it? I also have to ask you, have you ever listened to, Make It to Know Airplanes? Yes. What's it, Project Bluebeam? That one, I don't know how I feel about that. That might be that's getting right up to the line where I kinda stop. It's interesting, but that just seems crazy. There's no planes? It's just there's just projections of airplanes? That seems crazy to me. But I guess there is a good question as to where the fuck are all the plane parts and all of the wreckage? Like, what hollow towers, empty oh, okay, Jesus, empty towers. Dude, what about the footage of people jumping out of the towers? But see, that's the thing, I guess if you buy into Project Bluebeam, you could pretty much just believe anything. You could believe that nothing is real. So I would assume that when I ask you that question, you're gonna say the same thing as, how they made the fake planes. Ah, yes, the jumpers. Yeah, get to the jumpers then. If you don't think there's people in the towers, what's up with the jumpers? Dude, I would jump off of a skyscraper into AOC's bathwater for sure. While you're typing about the jumpers, uh, what can we prove is the question? While you're talking about the jumpers, I was going to ask if you ever listened to there's a podcast called Macroaggressions. It's hosted by this guy named Charlie Robinson. I'm pretty sure he's an anarchist. He speaks at there's an anarchist convention every year in I don't know how to pronounce it. It's in Mexico. It's like Anacapulco and it's some shit like that. But it's called Anarchapulco. Um, nope, got a link. Let me pull something up. He's really good. A couple, just looking down the list of his podcasts before I pull anything up. He talks about 9/11 a lot. Um, he did a recent episode, The Five Masterminds of 9/11. There's some group, I can't remember the name of the group. Jumpers were mannequins. What do you think about this, the more? Sherm Smoke saying the jumpers were mannequins. Let's see, what else does he talk about? Talks about drugs, the CIA selling drugs. I like to get into that stuff too. Anything CIA related. MK Ultra's not, I know that's not even a conspiracy theory at this point. That's just like a fact. But I do like getting into that stuff too. Let me pull up. He talks a lot about and this one, of course, gets everybody in trouble. But he talks about the rise in popularity of transgender stuff nowadays. Sherm Smoke is joking. Never mind, they're not mannequins. I told you I can't tell with him sometimes. We had theater/artists that rented out a few floors, and they had a window open and helicopters hired. They had harnesses and seen to be going out the window. So what, they were just like bungee jumping, or they had harnesses on that protected them from hitting the ground? What was this thing about the macro? Yeah, he talks a lot about and it's a topic that I kind of like getting into, the popularity of the transgender movement and how it's kind of encouraged by the pharmaceutical industry, because they're the ones that profit the most off of people wanting to transition. Which again, not saying that's not, I don't think that's saying anything bad about transgender people at all. I'm always down to criticize the pharmaceutical industry, especially as someone who's like had to go to rehab and like had to deal with the mat treatment, getting the prescriptions, and how they handle that stuff. It's all, they want to get you off of heroin, they want to get you off fentanyl, but then they want to put you on Suboxone, which is basically just heroin without the fun. But the industry makes money off of it, so that's what they want you on. you know and if you go to like a state or government funded rehab, dude, you're not getting in there without getting put on Suboxone. There's no way. You tell them, I want to get off heroin without Suboxone, they kind of look at you funny, like, what are you talking about? Planes were real, jumpers were definitely real. Suboxone, boys. Yeah, Suboxone's the worst fucking thing in the world. I used Kratom to get off. The problem with Kratom, though, well, the problem with me is that I have no willpower, so I'm still taking Kratom, and I haven't been on hard drugs in fucking years. Photo shoot of these people outside the building from the helicopters. The key to 9/11 is the amount of time for the buildings to vanish. Yeah, the buildings vanished. Everything goes back to the money. Yeah, everything goes back to money, and it's a shame that addiction is pretty much like an industry now. There's a lot of documentaries about rehabs, about how rehabs are kind of like shady businesses. You know, the airplane that hit the tower was CGI. Airplanes are made of aluminum. Show me a beer can that can penetrate a hammer. CGI, but that's like computer graphics. Like, there are people that saw the airplanes in real life. Like, I would buy into Project Bluebeam before I buy into their CGI. Oh, there's this dude who went viral fairly recently, and he was a doctor who quit once he realized there are so many holistic ways for patients to improve their conditions. There were firefighters talking about the explosions going off underneath the towers. Yeah, those are some of my favorite clips. The firefighters talking about they hear bombs going off, and they said they hear, it going down. but doctors are only encouraged to give out pills or surgery. Yeah, Protomax, there's a lot of stuff that other countries do, especially for drug addiction. Like, you can go to Mexico, and you can do, like, an ibogaine treatment for, like, a week, and I don't wanna say it cures your, addiction, but it gets you through withdrawals. It's a good there's no reason for things like ibogaine to be illegal here. There's no recreational value to it. No one's gonna go start abusing ibogaine. You're gonna use it in the desert to have some fucking experience and talk to God, or you're gonna get off heroin. Like, you're not really just like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy some ibogaine from my dealer for 40 bucks and get high tonight." That's not gonna happen. There's no reason for shit like that to be illegal. No one saw the airplanes. There's not one single photograph of an airplane. They're all ripped from the fake videos. Oh, you know what? There is that weird stuff about how all the Dr. Judy Wood. No, I haven't heard of her. Let me look her up. There's the whole fact that all of the security cam footage from any, like, even gas station nearby was confiscated. That is a weird thing. Yeah, Mexico does have all the good stuff. I have a friend's dad that went to Mexico, and they got his cancer into remission. Like, he went to Mexico years ago for his cancer, and, he's been fine ever since. Sherm smoke with the kratom. So, when I first started using it, it's kind of like a very, very weak painkiller, back in your innocent days before you got into, like, the heroin and the fentanyl, when you would take, like, 2 or 3 Norcos and you get the warm feeling in your stomach, you feel good. That's kind of what kratom does. The main thing it does is the warm feeling in the stomach, which I guess, yeah, is probably euphoria. And, so when you get off fentanyl and you first start doing kratom, first of all, nothing is strong enough to beat fentanyl withdrawals. Like, it just sucks. So I would just eat a bunch of kratom multiple times a day. I was still in withdrawals, but it was manageable. It was easier. And then after about a week, the kratom started. It got a little stronger because the withdrawals from the fentanyl were wearing off. So for the first few months, the kratom was cool. I honestly felt like I was cheating just because I was getting that warm stomach feeling. I was like, "It feels like I'm still getting high, but, at least I can buy this stuff at the store, and I don't have to go to a drug dealer's house and hear gunshots down the street and possibly get arrested and go to jail." But nowadays it does nothing. Nowadays, it's honestly kind of an addiction. I mean, it is an addiction in itself. If I don't take it, I have withdrawals. It's kinda one of the things that's been holding me back lately as far as, like, social life. I guess trying to, like, date. Like, what am I gonna meet a girl and then be like, "Hey, by the way, every 4 hours, I have to put a handful of kratom caps down my," like, that's fucking goofy. I'd rather tell a girl that I'm addicted to heroin or fentanyl than kratom. It's, like, a little embarrassing. But, yeah, it is definitely something that I need to try to tackle because it's also fucking my hair. It makes your hair, like, weak, so you get a lot of split ends and breakage and shit. Yeah, fentanyl withdrawals are 100% killer. Pentagon is more obvious. Shanksville, Pennsylvania is where no planes start. What do you mean no planes start? Like, planes don't fly out of Pennsylvania? No shame, just honesty. Yeah, I try my best. I try my best. I get embarrassed, though, I can't lie. I definitely get embarrassed about stuff, especially when it comes to girls. Especially when it comes to girls, dude. I haven't, it's been fucking years. I see a lot of people miss, old heroin. There's a good Instagram page who talks about, it's a joke, one of those addiction/recovery meme pages, and, yeah, he jokes about, "Honestly, I prefer the fentanyl." It tastes way better. It actually tastes good. Heroin tastes terrible. It all, even when you're like at the height of your addiction, it still tastes terrible. I hate the taste, the morning breath you get. You wake up fucking 6 a.m. First rip of heroin of the day, tastes like shit. Fentanyl tastes good, tastes kinda sweet. They are a little different. The fentanyl feels a little bit more chemicalier, if I feel like if that makes sense. I mean, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You get a little bit more of a it tastes a little bit more chemical-y. It kinda feels a little bit more artificial, but I like it. I always liked it better. And to me, I've always joked and said that heroin feels like, When you get home from a long, hard day at work, heroin feels like a long, nice hug from your girlfriend, but fentanyl feels like a nice long hug from God. So questioning the 9/11 airplane's existence or not. There supposedly is an airplane crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, one of the 4 commercial airplanes that crashed that day. I've never tried anything more than weed. Yeah, don't ever try anything more than weed. That's pretty much my advice. Uh, because you can never go back. That's the problem. Once you try something, you can never go back. So now, even though I have not been on heroin or fentanyl for years, it is still the first thing I think about when something bad happens. Like, dude, when I fucking stub my toe, it's like, oh, I know something that could fix this right away, but I don't want to fucking bum out my mom. So you just can't. So yeah, I just wouldn't try it. And on top of that, getting off drugs is not like the life fixer that everybody swears it is. I honestly was happier like living in the back of a Ford Focus in a truck stop parking lot with my girlfriend on drugs than I am today. I'm just not doing drugs now because I don't like I said, I don't wanna bum out my mom. That's, like, honestly the only reason at this point that I could think of. Um, it is not the cure all, fix all that people say it is. So just to never get on stuff is the best way to do it in the first place. Just don't ever get on drugs. If you do get on drugs, it sucks. I honestly cannot advise that you get off of them. Otherwise, I'd be a liar to sit here and be like, "Oh, your life will improve so much," you know? So just don't do them in the first place. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just enjoy your mind. It sounds like you got a good thing going. It sounds like you like to think a lot. Don't turn that off. That's what opiates do. They turn off the thinking, which, thinking can be pretty miserable at times. That's why I liked them. It turned off my thinking. But it's Fetty doesn't give me a head change when I'm doing it. Just gets me well. H was more euphoric. Okay. Yeah, see, yeah, we must have different we must take things differently because I definitely got more euphoria from the fentanyl. Don't ever do opiate. Yeah, just don't ever fuck with them. That's the smartest way to do it. Getting off that shit is the worst. Dude, same. I'm a depressed asshole sober. Yeah, same here. I've just been lonely as shit. The whole reason for me to get clean was to fix, my whole situation with the girl that I was in love with. I'm gonna start getting all fucking cheesy now. But I literally got off drugs and then she dumped me. And I'm not blaming her. She was totally right. I was terrible. I've never treated a person worse in my fucking life than I treated her. But so once that fell apart, I was like, well, so then of course I relapsed pretty quick. As soon as she was like, I'm not getting back with you, I was like, nah, there's no point to doing this then. So I had a little run with just straight fentanyl at that point. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's time to quit. But ever since then, yeah, I thought getting off drugs, it was gonna be like all my old friends were gonna come back. We were gonna start hanging out again, and I was gonna meet some new girl, you know. We were gonna, I'd get over my literally none of that's happened. I've just been completely miserable and like, dude, I'm literally sitting here like trying to make friends on the internet at this point, and I'm fucking 31. But yeah, fuck it. Like I said, at least I'm not bumming out my mom. That's all it is. The more I notice high intelligence people are attracted to these drugs to turn down brain function. Yeah, yeah, that's it just turns off your thinking. Um, I've always had this thing. I refer to it as a tornado. When I specifically am like trying to lay down or like chill out, there's like this tornado in my head that's just like pictures and videos of thoughts, memories, whatever. Opiates will make that shit stop. They will stop the tornado. But you know, fuck it, I just have to deal with the tornado, I guess. Newsom is another actor con. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You missed the whole start of the stream. I was talking about Newsom specifically. Protomax here in the chat, he was saying that Tucker Carlson has mentioned that he had lunch or dinner with Gavin Newsom and that he's actually just like a totally normal, reasonable dude, but he's basically an actor who's just who's just, he's just playing his part. He just is down with the Democrats. They pay him well. He's doing his thing. Which I imagine a lot of politicians are, honestly. There are probably a lot of them are just like realistically, a lot of them are probably just like normal people. There are some fucking weirdos, definitely. There are certainly ones that I think are using their powers for weird shit, But Elon Musk actor clown. Yeah, I talked about him too. I know why not right here hates Elon Musk. I was talking about her earlier. I don't hate Elon as much as some people do, but I will say that I don't like I'll do this rant again. I don't like that he's all of a sudden like he's now bought himself a seat at the table to use that term again. Why does he have why is Trump making a whole department of the government for him? Like what he's just a rich guy. Why is he getting involved in the government now? What the fuck is he doing there? I don't want Bill Gates talking about vaccines and telling me to wear a mask. I don't want Elon Musk deciding what parts of the government are efficient and what parts aren't. Um, Biden has been wearing a mask his whole presidency. About 20 years younger. What do you mean by mask? I noticed he got particularly orange later on. Like they tried to tan him up, try to get him all looking like Trump. Sherm Smoke, I think I skipped this one back here. It'll happen, bro. 33. I'm turning 32 this year in August, and I have quite literally achieved 0 of the goals that I set for myself to accomplish by the time I turned 30. I was actually supposed to be doing a lot of different stuff by now. But yeah, hopefully. At this point, it's gonna be like a fucking miracle. I'm not gonna have a life where I like get a job at Staples and get promoted to become a manager and then move up the chain. That's not gonna happen for me. I've worked every kind of job you can imagine ever since I was 17. I think Why Not made a joke about that at one time when we were hanging out. I think I mentioned like, oh, I worked at the Dollar Tree one time or something. I think he was like, "Dude, you've worked everywhere." Like, "Yeah, I've literally worked, like, every entry-level job you can imagine, and never once have I gotten a promotion. Never once has a manager told me I'm doing a good job. Never have I gotten a raise." Like, I'm not good at normal stuff like that. It's gonna be like the only way I'm gonna be successful is if some, like, bizarre shit happens. Like, I get discovered in a mall, and I start doing porn videos or something. Ears went from detached to attached is literally a mask. You gotta but is there like a video or an interview where I can notice this? How far do you go with politicians wearing masks? Like, how deep into that do you get? Elon Musk is a bitch. He faked being a pro Path of Exile player and then hopped on stream. And he was ass. Yeah, I don't like how what's funny? He's the guy that's always like giving out warnings about we need to be careful with AI. AI could become powerful and destructive. This guy wants to put chips in people's fucking heads. Like what are you talking about? I think he's trying to scare everybody else out of AI just so he can take over. He wants to go to Mars. Fucking Mars. I'm sure Biden has a body double, but I don't know about many different masks. Do you mean just like a mask that's like his own face and it just makes him look younger? There was that weird video of him with the weird chin. You guys remember that one? He had like the super, like it was like 2 balls for a chin. And it did look super weird. I think Biden's gonna die in like the next 2 years. That guy's literally close to death. Yeah, the Neuralink thing is fucking scary. Yeah, I think it's weak that he's like, "Oh, yeah, everybody needs to be careful with fucking AI," but then he's the guy that wants to put chips in people's brains. You can look pictures of Biden from when he was president. His aging is kind of bizarre, I will say. If even his first debate when he ran in 2020, like, just like how fast he kinda aged, that is kinda crazy. And yeah, when he was vice president with Obama, I remember he was the young he was like Obama's buddy. They were eating ice cream together and shit. I don't think they actually like each other. I think Obama just picked Biden because they told Obama, "You need to have a white guy for vice president because nobody wants to, nobody will vote for 2. They'll vote for 1 black guy, but not 2 black guys." Let's be real. America is progressive, but I don't know about 2 black guys. I would vote for John Cena. I'd probably vote for John Cena. Biden wearing mask on BitChute or Rumble. Okay, I'm down to check some of this stuff out on Rumble. I've been toying with the idea of making a Rumble. I know I see you're on Twitch. I'm on YouTube and Twitch right now at the same time. I think my platform allows me to stream to another service simultaneously, and if it allows me to do a third, I would do Rumble. It sucks. I was talking about this recently. I hate that Rumble is now seen as like a conservative thing. To me, it just seems like another YouTube where you just won't get kicked off for saying certain words that I happen to like to say. Um, I sometimes have to watch my mouth here just because of YouTube. I've been calling people fagots lately. That's been my new thing. Gavin Newsom might be a real fagot, would be like my example. But on Rumble, I could probably just say the word, straight out. Biden fell into everything. Yeah, he was just picked by Obama. Biden was like notoriously terrible. Like there's that whole thing, like he got disqualified running for president in like what was it, the 80s for literally stealing somebody else's, like he plagiarized his entire run. And then Obama kind of just picked him up out of obscurity and made him the vice president, and there was that. Yeah, I pulled up your YouTube. I see you're making shorts, different types of content. Yeah, the YouTube, it's gonna be a long road. Not as many hours as I should for somebody that's trying to like come up. I stream usually on Tuesdays. I start at 6 p.m. I'll go until like 7:30 or 8. Sometimes I run until like 8:30. I should get off here within the next 15 or 20 minutes. Tomorrow night on Wednesdays, I do a stream with my buddy. He has a YouTube channel called Dirty White Boy 118. The name is very perfect. He's got a fucking mullet. He's all covered in tattoos. He builds race cars, iron work. Kind of weird that me and him are, we're not like opposites, but I'm certainly not a race car driver or an iron worker. But we went to high school together. He's a personal friend of mine. And then Thursdays, I will either stream by myself or I will stream with a friend of mine who lives in LA. I think she's going to come on this week. I'm probably going to want to talk to her about the fires. If you do happen to make it back on Thursday again is 6 p.m. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm on Pacific Coast time. My LA friend will be here. And it'd actually be cool to see you tell her about if you have any thoughts about, I know you mentioned some of the fire stuff. The LA fire stuff, because yeah, she's in there. She like almost got evacuated. I think she said she lives in like a valley. She's like, she's down low, and basically all around her town was surrounded by fire. She sent me some pictures. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, she's pretty close to having to like leave the house, but so far she's been fine. Riding Obama nuts to dementia. Dude, I think Obama hates Biden. Did you see that clip of them at Jimmy Carter's funeral where Trump and Obama were just like sitting there bullshitting with each other, and they looked like they were just having a good time? That's the stuff that I think is interesting. I think these people are probably just like they're all just normal in real life. Like, people like to do those joke videos where they put audio of the people talking over it, and somebody did audio where Trump was saying, all right, Barack, let's see that birth certificate. And then Obama starts laughing. We each define our own success. You're easy to listen to in long conversations. Defining success. All I want on YouTube is 10,000 subs. That's all, dude. That's all I want. I want 10K subs on YouTube. And then I'll start acting like dude, I have sunglasses. When I hit 10K, you will never see me without the sunglasses on ever again. I actually have a better pair over there, but they're over there and I don't feel like getting up. Live in LA most of my life, haven't gone into the content regarding this one. Dude, honestly, I think you should be the guy. You should be streaming. I think there's a big audience that's down for the type of stuff you're talking about between LA and San Diego. Dude, like Jimmy Carter was JFK. Like you got to get into that. What do you mean by that? Because we were talking about JFK. What? I thought JFK was the man. Jimmy Carter. I've heard different things about him. You know, obviously, a lot of right wingers consider him like the worst president of all time. There's an author that I like who wrote a book about Charles Manson, though, and he considers Jimmy Carter to be the only president in his lifetime who was actually a good person that wanted to make a difference. So I've heard complete opposite things about that guy. So what do you mean Jimmy Carter was JFK? Trump and Obama were chilling. That shit was funny. That's what I'm saying. They're all just actors. Yeah, they're all just like, yeah, they're probably all either friends or like hate each other. Like I think Joe Biden hates Kamala. I believe that for sure. But generally, I'm sure they're all just like cool. Goals are a great way to measure personal success. I'm bad at setting goals, but I try to. I'm telling you, with the consistent video, people will start showing up like crazy. But yeah, I do need to hurry up and start making pre-recorded videos. I do feel podcasts with people. Do you ever get on live streams, dude? You should fucking. I'm damn near about to drag you onto this live stream. Like fucking come on next week or something. So JFK was not shot. The Zapruder film came out 13. This is what I want to talk about. If I can drag you onto the live stream, you don't even have to show your face. I could put like a screen up, like a picture, and just have your audio. We just did it with a buddy of ours a couple weeks ago. That is what I'd want to talk about if you're going to get into the JFK stuff. Wasn't JFK banging out? Yeah, JFK, from what I know, was banging out Marilyn Monroe. And the mob would bug his room and record audio, and they would use it to blackmail him. So JFK definitely had like mafia ties, and they would get him to do things by blackmailing him with the audio of him banging out Marilyn Monroe in hotel rooms. Oh, there's no other footage of this event. We can do facial recognition on JFK and Jackie O and Jimmy Carter and his wife. Match ears, eyes, teeth. Jimmy Carter and JFK. I mean, I guess they look kind of similar. But now this could just be because you're saying this that I think they look similar. You know what I mean? Like there's always that kind of phenomenon that when people tell you that this shit is so. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying Jackie O, JFK's wife, is, wait for it, Marilyn Monroe. Let's shift that facial recognition. It's true, that's wild. Jackie O is Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I think the idea would be that, so what happens to JFK when he gets shot? He just goes away for a while and then comes back as Jimmy Carter? Jackie O. I don't even really know what Jackie O looks like. I could see Jackie O being Marilyn Monroe more than I see JFK being Jimmy Carter. Jackie O definitely, she's got that face. Yeah, Jackie O and Marilyn Monroe do look kind of close. Closely similar. I almost said Jackie Monroe. I was gonna say Jackie O's eyes look a little bit further apart, but I also all the pictures look kind of different. I was just gonna say Marilyn Monroe's eyes look closer together, but then in this picture they also look a little further apart. Marilyn Monroe is definitely on drugs in this picture. She seems high as shit. Yeah, man, I'll hop in Discord and be with BBS with you. Discord. I mean, I know people stream from Discord. Yeah, I guess I would have to figure out how we'd have to do this. The only way I know how to bring people on is I have to send you a link, and then you click the link and shit like that. I feel like Jimmy Carter looks a lot older than JFK for how close. Well, I want to know like what year were they both born? That's what I want to find out. Or does that matter in this situation? Oh, here we go. The first ladies are all first men. Dude, okay, Protomax is kind of sold on this. A video series called "The First Lady Boys of the United States on BitChutes." I'm gonna save that because I'm definitely watching that shit. Oh, that's cool. You need my email. Okay, dude, hell yeah. Yeah, let me if you're down to put it in here, go ahead. I was gonna say I could give you this my page's Instagram. I don't know if you have Instagram. Uh, if you do put it in the chat here, obviously no one watches my shit. No one's gonna find your email. But yeah, if you wanna like a less, I could give you my email. You could do it that way. You could just send it to it's just discoacidcult@gmail.com. So just no TV. But yeah, I think that's the email. I made this fucking email forever ago. Okay, cool. You just put it right here anyways. That works out. Wait, I thought Jimmy Carter's wife was fucking Marilyn Monroe, though, according to this theory. Is she a man too then? Yeah, well, so what about that? Is Marilyn Monroe a dude? Actually, I don't need to pull that up on screen. I'll just save that right now. Yes, Marilyn is a man. Oh, dude, this is gonna be awesome. Fuck it. I'm too lazy right now. I'm just gonna fucking take a picture of your email on the screen. Right on, hell yeah. Yeah, I'll email you from it'll just be discoacidcult@gmail.com. And then we can figure out whenever. Yeah, like I said, I would either want to bring you on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Wednesdays are pure degeneracy. Me and Dirty White Boy 118. That's just pure degeneracy. We try to do like pop culture trending stuff, but sometimes we just get into fucking whatever. I do pure degeneracy by myself too, but I like to get a little serious sometimes. Oh, if Marilyn is a man, that fucking sucks. Dude, have you ever heard about the more since you're talking about all these famous women being men? You ever heard about there's a dude talking about how I think it's Big E, not Big E. Yeah, Big E Smalls. Shit, what music video? Pronomax, I mentioned it to you recently. There's a music video, I think it's by Big E Smalls, and like the lead female character is it's like it's a woman, but then she pisses in a urinal at the end of the video. It's basically the theory that a lot of the rappers are actually gay. And they all do gay shit behind the scenes, like stuff like that. You ever get into stuff like that? Transvestigation is the name of the topic, and Hollywood is full of them. It's the music video for Big Papa by Tupac. Oh, I always thought Tupac was gay. Even I think my uncle thinks Tupac is gay. My uncle at least thinks Tupac is a pussy. I know he said that, but I'm pretty sure he said he thinks he's fucking gay. And then what about on the rap topic? There's that theory that when gangster rap started in the 90s, all of the record label owners, they also had stakes in like the prison systems. So that's why they were pushing thug life stuff so that people would get arrested and get put into their prisons To me, that one made a lot of sense. The lead female character looks like a woman, but then pisses in a urinal because she's actually a dude. Another hoax. Death among many. Yeah, the Tupac death is weird. Yeah, the old interviews with Tupac, he talks like a woman. Yeah, yeah. There's that classic interview where he like is definitely flaming, like 100%. That sounds right. CIA, drugs, guns, lots of promoters. Yeah, dude, there's a great video. It's kind of conspiracy theory-ish. It's called, I think it's called The Dark Side of, let me see. It's about like the dark side of the music industry, and it's about how the music industry is like the death. What am I trying to say? Like the life expectancy of like musicians and like rock stars is like lower than like people that like do dangerous jobs, like dangerous construction jobs and shit. That's the type I like getting into because I used to play guitar. I was a rock star back in my younger days. So I love talking about like rock and roll and the music industry. There's a lot of crazy like the music industry basically like how it was basically started by the mob, like the mafia basically invented touring. Why not? Why not? I didn't know you were such a big Tupac. No, you're not. You're not a big fucking Tupac guy. Dude, Tupac's not even cool. Proto Max is apologizing. The Jim Morrison thing, um, I know about his dad. I'm very into Charles Manson, the Charles Manson story. Um, I don't believe the Charles Manson story is MK Ultra. We could get into that actually when I bring you on. That would be a lot of fun. There's a lot of shady shit with the Manson story. He was not a hippie cult leader. He didn't tell anybody to, all kinds of stuff. That's the stuff I really am into. I have his book, not Charles Manson's books, but Charles Manson is hoax. Yeah, the official narrative is a hoax, but I was gonna say, so I know because Jim Morrison is related. He's involved in in Manson. I'm pretty sure Manson knew Jim Morrison personally, but I don't think Jim Morrison's dad being who he was had anything to do with Jim Morrison. You know what I mean? Like some people say that Jim Morrison's dad got him into the. I think because that generation, a lot of their dads, of course, were World War II veterans. Like everybody's dad was in the army back then. They got drafted. That's like what happened. But I know his dad was involved in some crazy shit. I don't think Jim Morrison was only a rock star because of who his dad was. Yeah, okay, so you're saying that like the Sharon so you don't think Sharon Tate actually died? Guess you need to look into the Laurel Canyon. I've heard a lot about Laurel Canyon. I've never dug into it, but I'm down to dig into it. Laurel Canyon is that podcast I told you about macroaggressions. He just did an episode with a guy who has a book on like the Laurel Canyon and all the stuff about, the crazy shit to come out of there. What do you think about the Wonderland murders? Or do you have an opinion on that then? Because the Wonderland murders that took place, that was in Laurel Canyon, right? Or somewhere around Laurel Canyon. I haven't looked into Wonderland murders. Okay. I'll try to do the best summary. It's the Wonderland murders. Yeah, Laurel Canyon. Yeah, oh, you'd love this shit. It's 4 unsolved murders. It's like a 1970s porn star, John Holmes. He gets addicted to drugs and he starts buying drugs from some gang that lives in basically a trap house in Laurel Canyon. And he runs out of money because he's on drugs and 4 people in the house get killed. It took place in Laurel Canyon. And there's a lot of unsolved murders are of course like one of the those are like the best stories to look into. It probably really is just, like, drug dealing related, you know? Some stuff is actually just gangs and drug dealers and shit, but, you know, the fact that it takes place in Laurel Canyon, that alone is enough to look at something twice, I would say. And famous people. Yeah, John Holmes being, like, one of the main that's, like, a super strange um, he was literally just one of those guys in the '70s that had a mustache and was a porn star. And, Eddie Nash, who was a nightclub owner, he is involved, and he's, you know, an organized crime character. Um, yeah, the whole story is super bizarre. And, yeah, anytime famous people are involved, actors and famous people like to live a normal life at some point. Isn't that the dude who's known for having a giant hog? Yeah, John Holmes, at least by, like, '70s standards, you know? Nowadays, you have, like, you know, I've seen some pictures of, some porn stars nowadays that it's like, I can't even imagine it's, like, enjoyable for the girl. I don't know, like, the size of people's fucking forearms. They're talking about it with Dirty White Boy, I remember that shit was hilarious. Yeah, there's a great video on YouTube, I've been talking about YouTube video okay, the first video I was talking about is called "The Music Industry's Darkest Secret." It's by a channel called Barely Socialable. You know what, fuck it, let me just pull this up. I'm not gonna pull up the video, but I'm gonna just show what it looks like, if anyone's curious. This top video right here where it says "The Death Clause." Great video, an hour and 23 minutes. I love a good length video. Yeah, it's all about, you know, all the people that die in the music industry, the people that get murdered, all the crazy shit. A guy made more money than any other dude for years. Yeah, John Holmes was, you know, especially in the '70s, being a porn star was a and then here's the video that I would recommend for the surface level, I would say, of the Wonderland murders right here. It's just called John Holmes and the Wonderland Murders, with the purple writing. A really good video. YouTubers like this really bum me out because this is like straight up documentary quality, and it's just like a dude with a YouTube channel. Just made this video. Really good video. It's it's funny because it's a little similar, not similar to, but in the Charlie Manson story, at least according, you know, to the theory that I go with, in the Manson file, this book that was written by Nicholas Schreck, there's a porn connection. Oh, you're gonna freak out. Why not? If why not is still in the chat, you're gonna freak him out with this one. Kobe hoaxed his death. Why? What is the reason for Kobe Bryant hoaxing his death? So you think Kobe Bryant is still alive? You know, I'm not gonna lie. I do think it's odd that he gets into a helicopter that he probably got into a million times, and then it just that's the day. What was the story? Like the helicopter ran out of gas? Like, yeah, see why not? Already what? Not Kobe, bro. No shot. The Morse says just look at all the footage from that day. There is no helicopter. Okay, so what do you think the helicopter was CGI, or do you also think Project Bluebeam ran into a cliff? Why not says he was. Okay, yeah, the helicopter ran into a cliff. I'll at least give you that. Helicopters are hella dangerous. Yeah, but Kobe Bryant probably has to have had like one of the best helicopter pilots money could buy. And in just like one day, he just ran into a cliff. There's never a helicopter to begin with. But what interest does Kobe? Oh, okay, so is it just like a general, like you just said earlier, celebrities want to live normal lives, so they just like fake their death. But how is Kobe Bryant gonna fake his death? Like, where is he gonna go that he's not recognized? Like, is he walking around with a fake mustache? Someone took photos of his dead remains. The Moorish is going to tell you that those were someone else's remains, or that they were made. Somebody created them or something. My buddy who did Uber said he gave a ride to a helicopter executive, and that dude said if he's learned one thing from his career, it's that he would never ride in a helicopter. Facts, there were photos. Or those fake too. Yeah, the more when you come on, sometimes chat is dull, sometimes there's nobody in chat, but sometimes there are people in chat, and some people will argue with you. That's the point. There are 0 bodies on the scene. Everyone in China even knows Kobe. Yeah, that's what I would be saying. Like, where is Kobe gonna go that nobody, if the reason for Kobe to fake his death is to live a normal life? Great questions worth looking into. What's he gonna? I mean, I guess you could argue like plastic surgery, try to look different, but I'm just here to inspire, not to prove. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't have to prove shit. One of the things where do you look into this stuff? That's what I always want to know. Sometimes there's stuff that I hear little glimpses of, and I want to look into it, but I don't really know where to, like where to go all the time. Like I Google stuff, but you're obviously not going to learn stuff like this from Googling. I'm trying to think about there was just a topic I was thinking about the other day that I want to look into, but I don't even really know where to start. Man, I wish I could fucking think of it. If I think of any throughout the next few days or week before I have you on, I'll write them down or whatever. People who have done the homework, then I can verify. Okay, right on. A theory. It's just a theory. True that Protomax has respect. That sucks about helicopters being dangerous. I've always wanted to ride in a helicopter. Helicopters seem super cool. Or they seem fun. All the way back here, you asked if we get into any other major events. Vegas. I've heard something about, let me think about what other events. Sounds like some Reddit type shit. I could drop links all day, but there is not one source. I wrote in one, I don't find them dangerous. I'm trying to think about ones that are like interesting. Man, I mean, I guess I gotta fucking go. Before I would assume you think the moon landing was faked. Macroaggressions covered that. Helicopters fly low and stuff. I would assume that you would say that John Lennon was not actually shot by Mark David Chapman, which, by the way, I went to a high school with a kid named Mark Chapman, and he was a kid that we all bullied, and he legitimately would tell us that he was going to bring a gun to school and shoot us all. But I was an asshole in high school, and so were my friends, so we just continued bullying the kid, and he never brought a gun to school, so it all worked out just fine. But, oh, so do you think the Earth is flat? If you're a flat Earth guy, I just want you to know there's no shame. I was gonna say there's no shame here. I used to have a dealer who was a flat Earth guy. I used to buy heroin from a guy that would talk to me about the firmament, and he had very dirty fingernails. Yes, the Earth is flat. Okay, we're going all the way. Yeah, see, I definitely draw the line at flat Earth. I cannot get into flat Earth. I can't get into flat Earth at all. One thing I've noticed about flat Earth, though, is that the people that are into flat Earth is like most of those people are like totally normal. Like people talk a lot of shit about flat Earth people, but like you watch these documentaries and it's just like a dude who's like a plumber and like a like a third grade teacher. It is crazy how that topic kind of seems to draw in just like the guy you run into at the grocery store. What do you mean most of the content on the topic is a lie? And then Protomax, a flat Earth guy, do you believe in dragons being beyond the ice wall? Is that a thing? Do people think there are dragons beyond the ice wall? My question about the firmament is if there's a giant ice wall surrounding the land, Why don't we just go to it? Why has nobody gone to it? Like, why hasn't someone just gotten on a boat and just ridden out to the giant ice wall? My old dealer, I asked him this, and he used to try to say that it's just impossible. He said the waters would get so treacherous that people have tried and they just would never make it. And I was like, well, I don't like that answer. Like, just, put fucking Brock Lesnar on a boat. I do not believe in a firmament. I do not believe in an ice wall. There is zero proof of either. Okay. Okay, at least you're more interesting than like the firmament people. So, do you just think we don't know? Yeah, they say it's too dangerous. Yeah, people that believe in the firmament, they'll tell you that it's just too, like sea monster. Like my old dude, he literally used to say that like you would have thought like he was talking about the Loch Ness monster. Like if you go too far on a boat, the Loch Ness monster was going to come out and get you. So that's my problem with firmament people. But the more, at least, is more interesting. No firmament. So yeah. So then, what do you think? What do you think is out there? Like if I got on a boat right now and I just rode west as far, that would mean I'm not going to hit Japan. I'm just going to hit a wall at some point. The model used in the topic is a lie. There is no center North Pole, no Antarctica surrounding us. Place is supernatural. It is the greatest lie about this place. So Earth is surrounded by a supernatural, like interdimensional. Well, not even. No, to me, supernatural is different than interdimensional. So, but then my question would still stand. If I got on a boat right now and just started going west, like what am I gonna hit? Like what's gonna happen? It is flat but works like a ball east to west. They are called pseudo-cylindrical projection maps. Okay, so I would get to Japan if I went west. Some pilots, some lying bastards, then. This is when Einstein comes in and says, it is the bending and warping of space and time, not the earth that curves. Oh man, my brain's starting to hurt. I think I comprehend this shit. The Einstein quote is throwing me off. So Einstein says the earth doesn't curve, but it's the warping of space and time. So if I go west, I will hit Japan. And then if I continue going west, I will eventually end up back in the same place, but the earth is flat. Okay, so you're basically saying that I would get on a boat and I would go west, and some kind of time warp or like space bending shit would happen, and that's what would get me to Japan. Right? Like, it's very interesting if Einstein is right. Your mom doesn't curve. I think my mom actually used to go to Curves. You guys remember Curves? It was like a weight loss group that ladies would go to. think they do like workouts and shit. So my mom, she did used to curve at one point. Einstein's idea, the accepted theory of gravity is outlined in the book, The General Theory of Relativity. I've always wanted to read that. I just know that my mom did too. Dude, yeah, all the moms back in the day were going to curves. I've always wanted to read The General Theory of Relativity because it just sounds like a book that you should read. I doubt I would understand any of it. But am I kind of right? Like, is that what you're saying? That if I were to go on a boat and go west, I would in fact reach Japan. It just wouldn't be because I went around. It would be because I ran into some kind of basically unexplainable thing. I ran into some kind of space warp or time warp or whatever you want to call it. I guess if you want to get super weird, that could explain like disappearances. I get, right? Like some people might hit a certain part where that shit just like goes awry and they don't, it doesn't spit me out in Japan. It just spits me out somewhere that's not here. In another life, I wish I was good at science. Yeah, science has always been something that I thought was really cool. All right, I gotta fucking go. I guess one last thing. Okay, you know who I'm interested in is uh oh, I can't think of his fucking name. Nikola Tesla. I've always been interested in Tesla. I've always heard a lot of crazy conspiracy theories about Nikola Tesla. What do you think about that guy? All maps show that going straight east or west, you end up where you started. This can be explained in many ways. Portals. Oh, dude, portals. I love the topic of portals. If we get into portals, there's a podcast called The Confessionals that I talk about all the time. And that guy is very into portals. Portals, I'm super down with. I could see people getting lost in interdimensional slips with timelines and shit. Yeah, that's like portals and stuff. You kind of just accidentally fly through a portal. AOC in her bathwater. I would love to go through a portal and end up in AOC's bathwater. I would hope that she's in there too, but even if she's not, you know, I would love to get in the bathwater with AOC. The truth is found in learning about light, the double slit experiment. I've heard about the double slit experiment. That I thought that was used to prove that there was an afterlife, though. I thought the idea of the double slit experiment was that basically whatever you believe the afterlife is kind of where you will end up. What about Barron Trump being a time traveler? I've never heard that one. There's a huge theory on Barron. That time travel is interesting. There's a whole book. If I could time travel, dude, don't even get me started. I'd go back like 11 years and I'd meet my ex-girlfriend all over again. And I would just like not be an asshole for that's all I want to time travel for is just so I can go back and not be an asshole to my ex-girlfriend. I certainly would not be doing this shit right now. I'd be like married and have a white picket fence and shit, and I'd be happy. There's a whole book written by a dude of the same name from hundreds of years ago with some crazy coincidences. I've heard some crazy stuff about Donald Trump in general and his family. There's a lot of crazy stuff like numerology, like numbers, like Donald Trump. Like there was like prophecy shit about how this guy was going to show up and basically be the guy that he was. Work on that remote viewing or astral projection. Actually, my co-host on Thursdays, Annie, she is really into astral projection. Um, I think she's tried to tell me that she's done it before. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk shit about my, I like Annie, but after that computer voice changer girl, Protomax will know what I'm talking about. You know, I just thought if Annie bought into that computer voice changer, then I don't really know what else she buys into, is what I'm getting at. But she is very into astral projection. I do think it's a super interesting topic. I would love to astral project. Again, I would astral project into AOC's bathroom while she's taking a bath. For sure. Why is my sister texting me? My sister sent me a TikTok, and it's Looks like an animated graphic of a dude sitting on a toilet. And then she says, "When's the next time you're coming to the house?" Whatever, I don't have time for this. Yeah, gonna pull an Uncle Rico with the fucking time traveling shit. Thanks for making some extra time. Looking forward to hanging out again. Um, the computer voice stuff was too much. I agree. She genuinely thought that shit was real. Wait, the more before you go, if you're still here, did you answer the Tesla question? Just like I guess a quick like what? Yeah, what do you think about, or have you heard anything crazy about Tesla, about Nikola Tesla? You said work on that remote viewing and astral projection. Yeah, I don't think that was about. I don't think that was the answer to Tesla. Can make some hot topic shorts. Yeah, dude, I definitely should. Oh, yeah, Nicola's a huge topic. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's definitely. I want to bring him up because that's one of the things I've always been interested that I don't know where to look into with here. Brother, you're embarrassing me. Stop talking about AOC's bathwater. I don't know where to start with him. A lot of the rumors and nonsense. If you can, uh, try to start with a surface level. Not now, but like if I'm gonna bring you on stream, like I said, I'll email you. But I would like to get into some Nikola Tesla stuff. Shroom smoke coming back through with the fucking shrooms and the 8 ball. That's what we're talking about. In the red stuff in the syringe. Again, the guy that makes the emojis has no idea what he's talking about. Who puts red stuff in syringes? Oh, what about AOC piss? I draw the line at piss. You know, I've never had any kind of curiosity for that. I guess no shame to anyone that does. Well, actually, no, yeah, a little bit of shame. If you're into piss, a little bit of shame. You like electricity. Many speaking about electricity. Okay, yeah, I'm interested in this. Is it just, basically the electricity is kind of not what we think it is? I do think it's weird. I guess the electricity is a weird idea. Like one day they see lightning in the sky and they're like, we can use that to turn on lights. I guess that's kind of a weird, how is the shit that comes out of the sky the same thing that's like putting me on the internet right now? Free energy already. Free energy. Stuff like that makes me think about like the guy who invented the car that runs on water. And then, of course, he was found dead. Wonder how much stuff we could have like that if it wasn't for like greedy people. We could have fucking water, cars that run on water and shit. Damn sure if that MFer came up with electricity, I'm sure there's some other shit he found out. Didn't he invent time travel? One of the things I'm most curious about is Tesla. I think he's the guy that said, if humans could only understand the importance of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, then we would understand all the secrets of the world. I've also heard that his original quote had the number 12 in there, but for some reason that gets left out. Yep, water is what gasoline used to cost. They can make water-powered cars, but they get off because of the oil companies. If we are not careful, they will charge for air. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they already have those. They have like air bars where you go to like a lounge and you pay money to inhale flavored air and shit. Like to me, that's like the first step of like them charging money for air. A 369 is very cool. Yeah, I'm always been super curious about that quote. I like can't even comprehend what that means. Like, what do you mean 369 holds the secrets to the world? I'm sure the elites have access to time travel, and that's how things are maintained. Yeah, but time travel, I've heard about time travel that it's impossible to travel back in time. You can only go to the future because, then you have the dilemma of what if I go back in time and I die when I'm, in the past? Then do I die in that timeline? Stuff like that. Clean water will be currency soon. I can believe that. Math is a language to describe. So where is it in nature? Yeah, where is math in nature? That's why they make the planet so fucking dirty with all the oil and pollution. It's all connected. No, I'm trying to think about where math is in nature. I don't know. I'm so simple-minded that all I could think about is, like, how many days a caterpillar would spend in a fucking, like, what is it, a cocoon before it turned into a butterfly, and that's, like, numbers, I guess, the amount of days. The Fibonacci sequence. The golden ratio. I need to look this up. In mathematics, Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each element is the sum of the two elements. Yeah, dude, we're getting way into stuff that I wish I understood. Oh, the spiral of life, the flower of life. Yeah, it sounds like that's what this is getting at. Commonly denoted, many writers begin the sequence with 0 and 1, although some authors started from 1 and 1. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. All perfect geometric shapes use math to describe. The hexagon is found all over nature in perfect form. I guess I could see that. You think about like, what am I thinking of with a hexagon? Actually, when you go to look up hexagon in nature, is like the thing that comes up right after that. So yeah, beehives. That's what I would think about when I think of a hexagon. You think about not the beehives, the honeycombs, the little. Okay, yeah, actually, hexagon in nature refers to the six-sided geometric shape that appears frequently in natural structures like beehives, insect eyes, snowflakes, certain rock formations like the Giant's Causeway, and even the molecular structure of benzene, showcasing how this shape efficiently maximizes space and stability in various natural phenomena. Essentially, it's one of the most common geometric patterns found in the natural world. Oh, and he literally just said this too as I was reading it. Flies' eyes, insect eyes, turtles' backs, salt flats, basalt rock formations, bees honeycomb. Oh yes, water. Ah, fucking A. All right, I gotta cut it. I swear to God, I gotta get out of here. I do this every time I'm on here. I talk about how I gotta go for like an hour. Um, dude, I'm gonna fucking email you. I'm for sure gonna email you. Dude, I damn near might even want to bring you on next Tuesday. I'll email you. I'll email you. We'll figure it out. And then, peace be well, be strong. Right on. Yeah, like, dude, I'm super glad you stopped by. Um, anyone else? I think it's just Protomax. Why not might be lurking around still. My thing tells me there's two others, but my thing is always wrong sometimes, so who knows? Let's go down to the bottom of the chat. Yeah, fire topic spicy. Yeah, yeah, I'll try to think of some stuff that I know that I'm curious about for sure. Right on, get streamed. It'd be cool to hear more about this shit. Yeah, we definitely got I'm actually kind of glad that we got distracted because I was going to start talking about stuff that I want to bring up tomorrow. Tomorrow night with Dirty White Boy, a random OnlyFans girl named Bonnie Blue came out of nowhere and apparently banged out 1,056 men in 12 hours. Like, just completely stole the world record goal from Lily Phillips. Why not actually coming and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna hit you about something," like right now in chat. Oh, you got good people in here, nice. Yeah, Protomax is the most regular. Why not is in here. Sherm Smoke is in here when he can. Uh, Dude, there used to be more. Like, I noticed we haven't seen Antonio Calamari in a while. He might be gone. Mark doesn't really come into chat too often anymore. Annie is in here sometimes when she's not. But yeah, no, it's usually a decent chat. Yeah, Protomax. Yeah, I'll bring it up tomorrow and see if get Trey making jokes about it. But yeah, apparently it was literally like one dude every 41 seconds. And then she talked about how there would be times when she would just bring in like 5 guys at a time. And so she just, 5 guys. Yeah, over 1,000 dudes in 12 hours. Why not outside chat? Okay, right on. Yeah. You had to text me. I'm gonna go for a walk, so I'll have my phone. Be listening to music and shit. Oh, fucking A. And then other than that, tomorrow, I don't know what else. I don't know what else. I was also gonna make everybody watch a live Hall and Oates video, but like I said, that's more like pop culture-y stuff. So I'm glad we kind of saved some of that stuff for tomorrow. I'm not gonna watch Trey make watch. I'm not gonna make Trey watch the Hall and Oates video, but I might do that at some point on stream soon. I want to do a stream comparing like 80s pop stars and singers to today's pop stars and singers, particularly 2 performances. I've been watching a lot of the Live Aid performance, the Live Aid Festival in 1985, Madonna playing Into the Groove and Hall and Oates playing Out of Touch. I want to talk about I want to talk about like comparing Madonna's singing and choreography to like Sabrina Carpenter's singing and choreography today. Obviously, I love Sabrina Carpenter, but a lot of lip syncing, a lot of very stuck to the choreography, stuff like that. I want to talk about. I'll probably do that by myself at some point, though. The question is, why didn't you sign up? I tried to tell my buddies we got to sign up for the 1,000 guy gangbang, and none of them were down. None of them were down. So like Hall and Oates, yeah, Hall and Oates, it fucking rules. Dude, all your favorite bands hate each other. All the bands from the 80s hate each other now. It's just how it goes. Dude, even when I was in a band for like 2 years, they got, obviously nowhere near as famous as like Hall and Oates or Motley Crue. By the time we were done, we hated each other. That's just what happens when you get into a band with other people. It's just, you know, it's just a lot of like men trying to express themselves artistically, and ego and all of that kind of gets in the way. Oh, the last you must feel special. Oh yeah, dude, imagine being the last guy in 1,000-man gangbang. That's gotta be it's like something that I would never do, but just for the experience, yeah, I would. Just to be like just to remember for all of time that yes, that I was the 1,000th man in place. It's cool to think that they were bros for a while though. Yeah, that's the thing. All bands in musical collaborations, they start off like a gang. A lot of bands say that. Motley Crue, we were like a fucking gang when we started. That's part of why the burnout happens though, because you're so close to these people for so long. I mean, you literally live in a fucking vehicle with this person for years on end. And that's not even counting. I was just talking or thinking about yesterday, like relationships in rock bands. Like White Zombie starts off with Rob Zombie and Sean Weissall as a couple. The White Stripes start off as a couple, and then I also played music with my girlfriend at one point. I always say, don't play music with your girlfriend. We suck. Of course, once we broke up, we stopped playing music. Of course, bands like White Zombie and the White Stripes, they were cool because they literally broke up before they got famous. They broke up and then they got famous and then continued on because they had the guts to carry on. But realistically, I probably wouldn't be able to play music with my ex-girlfriend at this point. But I don't know. It sucks that success makes you hate your buddies in terms of being in a music group. Yeah, I don't even think it's the success itself. I think it's just the natural side effects of spending that much time with people in like an artistic context. And then success doesn't help though, because then now you have millions of dollars to go out and do other things. And you're famous, so you get all these chance to snipe at your buddies in the press. You get to do interviews. You look at like John Lennon and Paul McCartney constantly shit talking each other in interviews throughout the 70s and writing songs about each other, and it's just how it goes. That makes me think of having all the religious leaders in a room and asking who was right. Oh, dude, I think if you got all the religious leaders together in a room, they would all laugh and say, "None of us are right." That's the best part, is that we're all wrong, but nobody knows that, and nobody has to know. True, it's probably ego. Yeah, being a rock star is like a naturally, egotistical, like, dude, people like to think, "Oh, this guy plays music he's a rock star because he loves music." You can love music and just sit in your room and play guitar. To be a rock star, you have to have an ego. You have to you're saying, "I wanna go out and play music in front of millions of people." That's an egotistical thing. I'm not saying I'm not using it as a bad word. I think a little bit of ego is a good thing. Yeah, wanting to play music in front of people and getting paid money to do it is definitely like an egotistical thing. We should talk about that. I don't believe that one. That's one that I would respectfully go back and um what's the phrase I'm looking for? I would respectfully push back on you again. See, I lose these simple fucking phrases. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. We should definitely bring that one up when I bring you on. Paul McCartney being replaced. I think the Beatles just caught wind of the rumor and they were, marketing geniuses. And so they started placing all of these subtle hints and clues in their album artworks and songs. Yeah, it was Party On, but it's well researched. Or it was early on, but it's well researched. Yeah, yeah, I'm super down to get into that one. Yeah, fuck. I should write these. I'm gonna write these topics down. The three that I have the most are JFK, Jimmy Carter, which I guess also kind of gets into like Marilyn Monroe being a dude, and then of course, Nikola Tesla, and then we should do a little bit of the Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney, that could be like a little one. The bigger ones should be the kind of, not, I don't want to say the scary ones, but the darker ones. Also, a little bit of 9/11, that might be cool, but 9/11 is kinda overdone. I hate to say it. It sounds kinda funny to be like, "Oh, 9/11's overdone," but, drop some shorts about talking about these topics on stream. I do need to make more shorts. I know that shorts are kinda like the way to make it nowadays. I dig your curiosity. Yeah, I'm curious about anything, really. You could sit here and tell me that my mom is a dragon, and if you legitimately believed it and had some evidence, I'd be down to see it. Even if I don't believe it at all. Like I said, I don't believe the Paul McCartney thing, but I still wanna hear. You said it's been well researched. Yeah, I wanna hear about that. I wanna see what people have found in their research. Even if I go into it not believing it, I'm down to fucking hear about it. I think it sounds interesting. It's like an ad for your content. Yeah, the shorts, especially, fuck, I think people's, like, shrinking attention spans is, like, a topic that's interesting. But, yeah, especially, attention spans. People will follow a page just for the shorts, 1-minute long videos. Honestly, I'm kinda bad at shorts because I have a hard time squeezing things into 1 minute. I like a long 20-minute topic or a 2-hour-long topic or. So that I have a hard time with the shorts because I'm like, well, fuck, dude. There's like 5 minutes of shit here, and I've got to squeeze it into one. You're leaving a lot of the meat out. But I do understand that I need to make the shorts in order to keep going. But I saw a guy arguing that posting videos is essentially buying lottery tickets. It is. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Maybe this idea will help. Just drop the question. If you get lucky, you'll end up with a platform and money. Yeah, pretty much. It's just like the lottery. Every video you put out is another chance to hit it big. People like commenting on those helps. Yeah, definitely. All right, well, shit. This time I for sure got to go. The more. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you stopped by on Twitch too. I don't take care of the Twitch. I just stream there because I have the option to. But I never focus on. I'm more focused on YouTube, but I like to get traction on Twitch just because, traction on any of the pages is good. So I'm glad to see somebody on Twitch. That's awesome. I will definitely email you. Sherm Smoke. Bad timing. We are out of this bitch. That's what's going on. And then, yeah. The more I was gonna say, you'll learn. I'm gonna hit the outro. I have an outro. All the music on the intros and outros is music from my old band. And then once that hits, you guys are free to take off whenever. Sherm Smoke, also, thanks for coming by. It was cool to see you in chat pretty much this whole stream. Dude, I still want to do addiction type stuff. And you'd be a guy that I'd like to talk to about that. I haven't done a lot of the ideas that I've had, like, the blackout stories and stuff. But anyways, yeah. I keep talking. Sherm Smoke, dude, I gotta fucking hit you up actually. Just cause we haven't talked in a minute. But all right, everybody. Thanks for coming by.
And we're all here today to groove and have a beautiful time together, and that it's only the beginning. Sometimes I think I'm drunk and then I realize I am drunk. Sometimes I think I'm drunk and then I realize I